kra ebo ho amane ansa aban aye no wabo mo kokko na yehwe nim se enei enche kra Ghana man pani John Dramani Mahama ebebo soafo a ono ehwe ye bambon nsem esudin na wei eyade era Felix Ofosukwachi ede atudwa se enche kra ebeba so ene TVET zugu awudro im bako miensa ende yi omo headmasters ededa no ya twe omo aso isan sike bi omo jijijiji adesuafo ne ti weni awudro bi e ka ho ena na pay me de ba beso mo se happy twekronkron kase no edikan na me amedi kase boya ba beso mo edi amegi so ene kachre akwasi yeboa yentwa ye hombra sisi a de ye kase bo na se emfema Yeshe kase bonase anende yi aban ede atudwa eno chemu se asoafo ahodo wa pom ewo man mu oni omu di dwuma se ne be ya Ghana man betumi akọ nanim na man na fa ne ntuma pemfra do asoafo yi nende aban ebo omu kokose ene ewo ho no mo aban ye be ye hihya ahodo bi betumi aboa na man na tumi atumpon a asoafi bi nya kwanya na omu ne omu manfo ene asamtwofo kasa na omu de aba betudwa wambra aban no amponye na dwen se ensebro de ba betudwa na se enhihya ahodo a oye anaso peso oye edebo oman no de ba betudwa na eneyi aban de kokobon nsem akwa ma omo se sade no mo hwe no mo twom mfiri ho esanse sa aban be ye nhihya ahodo bi a ono a enese so de tudwa na mom oyo soafo na beka bibi foforo na akire aban so hihye no so beka bibi foforo na kwai sa aban ni nim ne oye bi eduntu de kokobon nsem akwa ma omo se omo hwe na omo ntuo mo hofo emfa sa eniema ahodo a ye akoso na wei eye nkrata secretary de ma cabinet Professor Kwaku Danso Buafo ni sasha ase eno mo de abatudwa bokokose endei oyo soafo na wo man mu a ehihya ahodo bi a aban pese oye so no anfa mbetudwa eni abanyanim emfa mbetudwa Yera Felix Ofosukwachi onu yobi otronkra edifi abankesie mu ono de se mo babetudwa no chemu se endei Ghana man pani John Dramani Mahama enche kra obebo bidin a nipa no ene be yoso afo a obehwe ye bambo ho semson ye nyina nim se agas bosum na ndeda na toso esia na ye wukwada ene Ghana ewura ho ye ho pa
Happy FM
ama nipa bako nwotwe a omufe muhwe omunkwa na yewura Dr. Edward Omane bo amanso ka ho ono sembre no no yoso afo hwe bambo ho semson na eno enande ababetudwa na Dr. Kesela atofo simpo ende Ghana man pani John Dramani Mahama afa ne se ono enhwe kire se osoafo a ohwe bambo ho semson na ene enkan no osoafo ohwe bambo ho semson no eyemra shebedweni di ma de hye mo bimbila abatrompeso so Dominic Nitu eno wachebu se ade na nkasa no bambo ho nsem adwuma na da ho ne emu doso nti ebe ya aban yana Ghana man pani John Dramani Mahama embo bi din nkasa so no eno o hwa so ye no horom na nyese Dr. Kesela atofo sin ewa so ye hwe sikasem so no wasanso edi nani baako ehwe asoye no ehwe eye bambo ho nsem so na odi tu dwa wie ye no ena ndie eye Yewura Felix Kwachi Ofosunso abekire mu achesu ade na nkasa no eniema gu aponso a enche kra Ghana man pani John Dramani Mahama obebo bidin se nipa no ombe yoso afo a endei ohwe ye bambo ho ensem so na yefro ne yankwa mpipia mayeko ni mu ye ire nim se mpipia mayeko ne boebo mo ho ama ya me adom a January bosum de toso aduasa baako omo akwa akoto aba eyi obi obetu franka e de ama mayeko no na nipa baako enum e na ayi omuti se eni eduru ho no etu ahene ne esi ahene fo entramba mfamo mo na hemre bembetumi etu franka de ama MPP mayeko no na ndi eduru ho no mafimpi mienu ne aduonum wo twa ba ye beto no omo atumi adi nkunim na omo abedi aban na wasanse mimu a ene omo gusu ebo ntro ya ena nka ne mra hye bedwani e de ma de shomo adanse azokwa onyanfo keti Hammond e de kokobonsem akwama enipa omo ayi omuti se ende yento omo so aba na MPP amayeko ni mu no omuntu franka emfe mama yoko di se dipenum no de tie bia nipa ba ko pe eno bedi nkuni mu a one betu franka no e de ama MPP amayeko no enti watrasre enan ebeka a obi obedi ntwo wo mbia wantumi ndi nkunim ne se so mutu aba ne wie na nkunim di ankwa amawo a enha ho se ufi amayeko ni mu ufi mu emwa no no ye raketi amon nangasa no so ye wadwen se wadi ntwodi ubefi amayeko ni mu a ono be chia nyam okurum apa na odi ye Ireland ko joche mantin de eye mfatro ho se no esi a entwem nko ni aka no omo hwe abo ho ban enti watoto asra MPP amayeko ni mu endie ekukudam enum a omo ayi omuti a ende yi omo bonto ase amayoko no mpanifo etu ahene ne esi ahene fo nto abanfem mo no betu franka emfem amayoko ni se ene se nkunim ne ntumi ankwa amawo a enye wadwen da se ubefi amayoko ni mu na munyina mo nkambo se ne be ya efimpiemienu ni eduonum wotwe aba ye betu wo man mu no MPP amayoko ni betumi edi nkunim raketi Hammond.
The leadership in the, particularly those out there now, as far as presidential know how to go about it. So I no kasa ye, na mo hwe na anslepo. Na ye mfanyi ye candidate. You cannot stay. Obi anywhere, omo kasa ade no ho na omo prime minister. Obi anywhere ye prime minister, you kasa. Na nyanti makwa akwatena nche. Te dwuma ye bedi no Ghana ha say. Watch it. On ye say Alan there or ye no why ya won call Alan will never come back to MPP. They won't try on ye hwe. O da won't try on ye. O kasa agree. They can say yes, party no. So almost say no my it's not going to happen. Really, yeah, obi antum magado, obi anya yere. But yeah, my Faridi sir. Say my baby use MPP, my say. So when I hear me, because yeah, my get be fool because my win election. Me try na so kwakura me say my ye ade wo mo say am so man ye ni ade no. O ma to aba ma me fie aduonu nine. Ma to o ma kane.
Enti yera keti Hammond. Enka ne no bra hye bedwani a ojine muma adehia no mo eye adanse asokwa ne eti na Ghana Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET and they almost suspended at chechefo and the headmasters baako miensa omo eda technical institutions na wodo no ano na zafo ni ye ade a ende no obuchemu se sika bia ni kwan so moje adisuafo no mo agege de afre mo hono enti schools no eya agona so edro technical institute eno wo mfimfini mantem sunyane technical institute no wo bono mantem ena afensu Madina technical institute no e won krampuni mantem andom sin sa schools miensen enende omo headmasters ya suspend omo na TVET for chemu se sike bia ne nke ni kwan so omoje bi kra nso efa admission fees ho boarding protocol payment levies and the eto ahodo bi eni ne ma ahodo ekekeka ho e na chese omo akwaje a omo chemu se PTA dues ne ne ma ahodo bi ekekeka ho no nke ni kwan se ba ne sanso aba eti asoya se ene be ya a headmaster fu yi entina se kakra na omunye hwehwemu emfamfa asem no hu yi angazangazangazangazangaza na omu wi a ene ohu son a wasen abetra wade so egbugbo won so a sa so twi bi e wo ho a ese somebody ma obi anso omatumi di ama abankra chipani ono water chiman south ayo no yamfo kwaku agye mensa ɔno nende ɔde nsɛm ato nsɛmtwɔfo anim sɛ
98.9
nsɛmtwɔfo ɔmo water chiman ne mpatem no ɔmo dwuma ɔmo di no ɔmo ho nte na ɛnyɛ sɛ o sorry ya na o keka bibia e de fa eye amanyofo ho na de ababeto dwampo amaneka ne sanse ukotachi mandwemu a manager da no ene yese exemption wo mpatem hodom se manager ne de 12,000 Ghana cedis bosome enso kom 700 pe na manager eji
Mulonku General, Etimitna Radio, say, market manager of the assembly, Etrianica, 12,000 Ghana cities. No, I can't try. No, the actual. Now say you, OBI should know can. But on records, we assembly, market manager, Etrianica, Yeman allowance. Now, young fellow said the allowance, Yeman 700 cities a month. Now, Yatini tax. Now, ni take home allowance. 560.
Enti abankra chipani ono water chiman south no yamfo kwaku agye mensa ne na yeti na wamananso hwa o na osanche mi se onde ono krampo ba yi epu busumini mu na chese obetine kundwa so se abankra chipani wo techiman south so ndiama bi ekoso hodomo
Me ye bomidi as mayor. 4th April. Enti ye ko confirmation ye me Zoom office. Na me buy na me de ne matoto akwam e na me task force. Me task force no she operation ase. 29th April. Enti April no me week ne me task force badwam. First week no they got 79,000. Before me task force no ba no omunya 38,000. Memeta force no buy no omunya 79,000.
Enti onoyamfo kwaku agye mensa techiman south mbro eye abankra chipani ne eti na ne kura ne yewura jewu pepra ono eye techiman edwa no manager da no etoto nema enso ede ensem wi tru nsem trofo ni se asem ne de ne nyina na abankra chipani na aka no
Kakra me work ni journalism no ajuma professional work na I think say we should expect the highest sense of professionalism in your dealings as journalists mujuma teaching say more information but I was say cross check your facts and saudi one of your own muamu nua was on radio all can sama onim de all can am responding but me tunufo number 2 all journalists sir, you have to cross-check your facts before you put it out there. Say, dear Akanekuomwa or the borders on duality. Set nipa bakon oje salaries. Me no, a criminal to collect salary here and then collect salary there.
Yera jewu pepra ono eye manager oda eye techiman dwakesie na no ne eti. Na nei ya de curfew ato adehyo mu ogulumpe so se ene emuwo eye kintampo gulumpe yekura eno wo kintampo mensin mu sign ne ma hudo bi akokkoso wo hodom ne ende adehye wo hodom aduane ombedi hu ayede bibi ombeda ho nyukra na no ma hye se ene ebo no wotwe a obetumi asore ande wakoye one ma hodo na emom acha no nan ese wohwe na ukona ukoda wo honom na chese onso ande no nan ne bopa ho no muhu abontia anu betumi ayehye pa na eno na eye abankra jipani wo honom etumi adi anim ne regional minister ne mpanifu awodo etumi ahwa ase omo betumi ayehu bibi etumi aboa na wo mra MC ne semtrofo kasa no jidwasin
Nadmo fight for vulnerability. Not a conflict to be basis.
Samre ya me no kasa e glumpe ahyase ama bibia e fa ne ntuma pa afira. Beye nam yensa na assembly si ye na wotwe emu ne ye wo no. but ɛnam yɛn nnan bi a atwa mu woba ha no mu a na wahu sɛ nneɛma nkɔ yie but saa mmere yi a me ne ɛrekasa yi nneɛma nyinaa atɔ dii Gulumpe neɛ ɛwɔ sɛ ɔtɔn adeɛ wɔ store mu wahyɛ aseɛ ɛretɔn adeɛ wɔ store mu neɛ ɛwɔ sɛ ɔkɔ n'afuom binom ahyɛ aseɛ ɛrekɔ afuom ɛba school nkwadaa ahyɛ aseɛ ɛrekɔ school nti ɛna kyerɛ sɛ asomdwie ahyɛ aseɛ ɛreba Gulumpe produce no mu no nti ɛyɛ anigyesɛm yɛbaayɛ neɛ yɛtie firi afaanu no nyinaa hɔnom no ɛkyerɛ sɛ Gulumpe asomdwie ahyɛ aseɛ ɛreba youth a wɔwɔ kɔnkɔma side youth a wɔwɔ gonja side wɔn nyinaa kan bom atena ase ayɛ meeting ɛrehwɛ kwan pa a wɔbɛfa so ama asomdwie asan aba Gulumpe produce no mu.
Enti wei ɛyɛ kintampɔ kuro no mu hɔnom abankra kyepɛdi ɔwɔ hɔnom yɛwura Isaac Donko ɛna kyerɛ sɛ yɛte ne nin na yɛnkɔwie kasɛbɔ no ɛwɔ amanɔne ɛde a Poplio ɛna wahyɛ sɛ ɛnde yi ɔde nsrahwɛ bɛkɔ aman ahodoɔ ɛso ayɛ no ɔntena Rome hɔ nko a nti nkura ahodoɔ bɛyɛ nwɔtwe ɛna kyerɛ sɛ ɔkɔɔkɔ so ebi yɛ Turkey Lebanon a ne nyinaa no ɛwɔ ɛyɛ Vatican akyi hɔdom ne adeɛ a ɔhwɛ anim sɛ wei adeɛ a ɛbɛtumi aboa ama nkitahodeɛ ɔne amanfoɔ bɛdi atumi aboa ma nda yi asomdwie nneɛma atumi akɔ so ɛwɔ aman hodoɔ so ebi wɔ hɔdom a ntɔkwa ne nneɛma ahodoɔ ɛkɔ so no ebi yɛ amanyɔsɛm ebi nso wɔ beebi efiri ne adeɛ a nti ne nyinaa no yɛ adeɛ a ɔrebɔ mmɔden ahwɛ na ne nsrahwɛ yi so atumi agyina so na ɛnde yi asomdwie mapa atumi aba aman ahodoɔ a ɔkɔ nsrahwɛ wɔ so ne nyinaa ɛne ewiase afana nyinaa aha ne yɛde kasɛbɔ ne nyinaa esi ɛwɔ Happy 98.9 FM so ɛnde anapa yi sɛ wɔdi kasɛbɔ no mu akotene bi ne sɛ ɛne yɛwura Felix Ofosuku akyerɛ sɛ ɛnkyɛ koraa Ghana Mampani John Dramani Mahama ɛde ɔsoafoɔ no ɛbɛhwɛ yɛbambɔ ho nsɛm so ɛdin ɛbɛto dwa saa nso ɛna TVET ɛndeɛ mpanifoɔ a moda no asuspende headmasters ahodoɔ baako mmiɛnsa ɛsan fees ahodoɔ bi a ɔmo agyegye a ɛno ɛmfa mbrakwan mu wei ɛne ahodoɔ bi ɛka ho ɛna yɛte no ɛna na pɛ sɛ Happy hwɛ kronkron kaseɛ no ɛdi kan me a mede kasɛbɔ yɛ bɛso mu ɛdi a megye soɔ ɛne Church akwasi yɛbo a mesɔre so deɛ na yɛwura Kwadwo Sefah-Danquah Madam Fati Shaibu Ali ɛna afei so Prince Poakwa Brown ɛna ɛde Happy morning show no ɛtoa so memo bibia moniti a adehye
Amame wazaba Sawa bonyuma Don't be a good pumps of his ass, Kinian in Dawa, Bombonchen, Nkasi a bonsusua, A1, a go Pyramemu Samsu, Shunku, Happy FM was abo, Happy FM and Jenkwa.
Hey, Kofi, let me a country man. About the Dano year, I brought just 1,000 Ghana cedis. Me ya one ya.
Uyo obi oyinkonya.
Wait see. Me a Happy FM Valentine Mass Wedding 2026.
Sa dwumadie no a ye hoahoa wo se oye odehye niema koda ahoje bia kese na ye san ema manfo di wakire se de oye celebrity no.
Wetwa. Be fie duonini. Ane de aka odo ho asema. Ye ka warefo bebrabom.
Enti sesi ano me mpra no miensa no ba.
Debi Kofi. Oba baako, bema baako, odo baako.
Happy FM Valentine Mass Wedding. Well love meet affordability. Our warrior on another level. Don't know.
Before registration forms, ewo Happy FM asalam down.
So person so yasene a, obetumi afrɛ tete for homan 0244 906 235 and I say 0302 254 858. Mamen kai wo, send she kakra wo. Happy on Wheels, Ketekeno, Afei and Drumum Peswaniso, Yawada, 30th of October 2025. And a Shaiman Market. Right, Nayantanasi, Yenim Koma Dimpuntuanin Kosoba, Bra, Nani one more Cambia, a ye, one more Cambia, Edru Jomu, Bidim to say, more assembly members, MCE, and Jadi Hudwo, and the driver unions are one more a Shaiman, and an Impatamunina, a Yampuntun Como, a Yankoson Como, 80 bro, now so for number 2 common movie, a happy on wheels, live from a Shaiman Market, 30th of October 2025, a 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Wait, menu free move, Bomondia, also for Adjuni, Robert Tuja, happy on wheels, your voice, your power.
Mamenda ETV na onye Happy FM so ase. In fact, no currently there, Mabaya MP, the very first media platform I mean as a parliamentarian was the ETV media platform. And
Breakfast TV.
Yes, because the Nimpana me na appear on brother our NDC side Mutala Mohammed, you know. So then if you are browsing a Happy FM, you know. So it was at ETV in Kakanga, and then, you know, the party now said, oh, cut this other station, and all. So ETV, I don't want to say, more exposure, Kahubina, Yedu, Umbonsu no Ejuma pa moye. Wonko da wonye Ejuma na wonfamboa o man Ghana because meye wanye ye keduma mi kebi.
Basifa. Bibi ameka say Happy FM won. E guy Happy keeper. Na me kope ka keep a pen drive ma chip teaching because mo kan okrepa. Yera masifa happy die yantiemu ana special media mantiemu da kra intiminta. The Mazini Manchester, yeah, any come up for Mona Mukamai. Yaman come on more, no main Madina no Quenu. If the Bible says from Ukraine and Tom, what on that you be able to Africa? Timuka, Yakupo Mom,
Yamamwachio, Niamamwakwaba, about Happy Morning Shows, Happy 98.9 FM.
For all the news updates, trending topics, good music, and unbiased analysis of various issues, listen to the Happy Morning Show on Happy 98.9 FM. We are your morning companion.
Yamamwachio, Niamamwakwaba, about Happy Morning Shows, Happy 98.9 FM. And I pay no more. Yeah, both. And it's nothing but just an incident that happened a couple of minutes back. It's here. And I always said yeah, or mine you're always going to be addressed the way you dress, the way you portray yourself to the world. That's the same way. Because you're not portraying yourself any different. We have made it look like laws do not work in this country. I say Emranya Juma, and so among for usually some of the experts. One move from and I'm not saying that all of them are like that. If I can be so, at the year Nyambransima Hudubia, what you know who I want to say. And throughout, for the past decade or two, Yahunu. Some of the actions of experts, the way they treat indigents of this country. Said it treated Ghana for Binum. We've had conversations around that. And in the account, some had Ibinum Kraku Pimu court in the But then there is what I call vicarious reinforcement. The point that sometimes to be a bibia a bonnet. Na yemfa so twen emma no na obehwe nipa ne trimu no eya de pa isan se nia wo ye ni suni ni ban oda na die no yemfa so twen ma no so nipa ne trimu we kura ye kura enya de a ye be yo hwe we kura ye kura enya de ye be yo hwe And so nipa dodo no ano afa saa akonya no ɛna sɛbi ɔmo ti ɔmo anim
Happy FM 98.9.
nyambransɛm ɔmo bu mbra so fati ɛnya ade bia and I'm not sure say any big deal, but the point is that there is a man who is behind us. No say dey bia here ba now cause Christmas is early. The man has dogs. There be all the anope bia or the emwano enante. What I've realized is that so the morning antina sebi anope means obianum but me cancel. Or the morning antina sebi edru bria ombeso omugya omunan or do omu gina kwanum no omegya omunan. Emwa na gya omunan egu kwanum. Na watwa so no okọ. And I've seen him several times behind a year oko ya na afo ho a first you na ya to ho ne ba na ye ho bon se obe na emwa na ba bi gina kire na omaye de ombe na wagya ho no oko anopeya me kope coffee me wie ya me ba na me hunu se ugina kwan ni mfimfini ye kire ya e kire he ya then sabi emwa no oma sori anopo mo jomna oma jomna ye gu kwan ni mfimfini ene wagya ho ene watu atene na me ba no me frɛ no
okay
hello try na near who say me friend no ena who say as a on antinti odem one me I was standing there because you was on me na mama ntem I was standing there waiting for him because I believe very well say a new kromo and I will call into a community like asylum down and you find say bia oye nipa tuntum and I'm not being racist this morning but the fact is the fact and now yes I deal we and no movie ehunu wo a I'm pretty sure saying we
Happy FM 98.9.
But even I know say other places, the deal is that when you come in, you need to carry a poop bag. And ujane na ewo kwan ho a obesisa.
Onkrabi.
Egu poop bag no.
Egu kwan no.
Ene so wo ha ya.
Egu mi wi am mekwa akobɔ ne pono. Mi wi no ofie nkwa na mekwa akobɔ ne pono. Ma catch and say look, you must stop that nonsense that you're doing. You must stop it.
But the thing is that, well, you might not necessarily have to put it that way. Because ebia oba man mu no we hu say nkan man ene na ma omo egugu ojijejizo ebia ofili say normal. Say free range nti. Which ebia we train adwin ekoso a obesa.
The point is that ahana onam no the areas onam ni nyina ohunu say in the middle of the road. Say there is a dog poop. Ohunu bi. Baby, on Nantico Fanny, who's in the middle of the road, there is a dog poop. Fati, a hayani, Jumahayani, and Nanti de Bia. When we are going to get our food, we don't in Faka. Nenam Kwanaswa. When was the last time that you saw say something of that sort is in the middle of the road? 23 minutes at the top of the hour. 7. Yemfa weather updating from Ready for an Can I meet you for no more weather updating? Omofie wie mu krutin sem ne gun krata so de bibre na yenso ya bohu daru e de ama eye Ghana fo nyina na ena no pay Ghana me se me ma Ghana fo nyina asonte se o bo modin a ba be pimu e wo man ana afo famu enkrutuo a e ben e pono a se de ewiemu ensem ebeyenie o se anɔpɛyi no nsuo no bɛmu na nanim ɛwɔ nkrutuo bi ɛte sɛ aplawo nkran ne kasoa wokɔpie mu ɔtakrade axim ho ɛne ne mpɔtam a ɛde fa hɔ akɔpie ɔman mfimfini fam bie no Ghana mɛkyi sɛ anɔpɛyi no wobɛpie mu hɔ no na asensuo no apetepete busuo gugu kakraa yɛnkɔnkɔpie mu ɛwɔ ɔman atifi fam Ghana metu say yade a ensuo no ebemu na nanimu say few clouds enye kese bia sa e wo bra premu ato no Ghana metu say memanen ɛnto Ghanafoɔ nyinaa sɛ ɔmɛyɛ na afoɔ fam yɛnhwɛ no mu sɛ nsuo no awia no bɛbɔ kakra nkurotuo no bi ɛte sɛ Cape Coast Takoradi Axim ne Mpɔtam yɛhwɛ no mu sɛ nsuo no bɛtumi atotɔ ɛwɔ Zambia no ɛfa hɔ akokɔ pii ɔmɛyɛ mfimfini fam nkurotuo bi ɛte sɛ Akyemmɔdaa Kumase yɛhwɛ no mu sɛ hɔ nso nsuo no bɛtumi atotɔ ama wiem abobom ɛmia ahodoɔ no aka no deɛ Ghana meteo kyerɛ mu a yɛnhwɛ sɛ awia no bi ne ti no abɔ kakra awia no yɛ ti no abɔ kakra na okopim wɔ man atifi ɛfam nkurotuo bi ɛte sɛ Bolgatanga na Larigu wa ɛne ne Mpɔtam deɛ a Ghana meteo sɛ ewiem ɛbɛyɛ hye ama awia no abɔ yie paa ti ɛnɛ awia yi ɛwɔ bra prɛmo ato ɛkorɔ no adeɛ woyɛ obi a wotu kwan ɛde akɔ wɔ man atifi ɛfam a ɛyɛ wafasuo mu ntade hyɛ mu ɔyɛ ano ahwɛ ne yie nkɔhyehyɛ biribi kutu bia ɛnsɛ mfifiri bɛto yie paa temperature no bɛgyina 36 degrees Celsius the highest the lowest ɛbɛyɛ 30 degrees Celsius yɛkɔ anwummerɛ no anwummerɛ ɛwɔ bra no nsia abɔ no Ghana meteo ɛkyerɛ mu a wɔman afa na bebree no a no ɛyɛ adeɛ nsuo no ɛbɛmu na nanim nkurotuo bi a ɛwɔ wɔman mfimfini ɛfa mu ɛte sɛ Akyemmɔdaa Kumase Ɔboase Takwa ɛne ne Mpɔtam de yɛhwɛ no mu sɛ nsuo no bɛtumi atɔ ama ewiem abobɔ mu ti wei ɛne ewiem ɛnsɛm sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ dɔnhwere du mmienu edi anim ne firi no nsia ɛbɔ atwa mu yi ɛkɔpem anwummerɛ no nsia ɛkorɔ no saa pɛpɛpɛ ɛna Ghana meteo wɔn ɛde ama ne yɛn yɛabɔ ho dawuro ɛde ama wɔ Kezia apɛkɔn ɛna ɔyɛ duty forecaster wɔno ɛna ohwie ewiem kuru kyinsɛm gu nkrataa so a wɔyɛ adwuma ɛde ma Ghana Meteorological Agency wɔde ma ne yɛn a yɛaka ɛho nsɛm ɛde ama wɔ no ɛbrɛ na so sɛ yɛbɛkɔ na yɛkɔ akɔfa da ɔbɔkrata ahodo ne nanɔpa abadwom na tifi nsɛm no bi ɛde ama atiefoɔ ɛne ahwɛfoɔ ɛnɛ anɔpa yi ɛwura papa Fati Shaibu Ali Prince Obi Bapɔ akɔ ayim Brown akyeame miɛnsa yɛatena ase mame ma makɔ abae
Kwadwo Sefah.
Apum bɔkɔ deɛ
Yes.
okay say the name to you are getting higher every day no
Yes.
Nankam pesimbuza higher on what?
On everything, on
Okay,
life.
okay.
Yes.
And run so, mami.
We are manifesting.
We are manifesting, okay. Mami, money, and to say a yadi and rat, me bra, Ninsaka, Namani diano.
Oh, okay.
Mane deɛ na ade maa me te sɛ deɛ wotɔn wie na ama me
Wouldn't tell you told we are here with him. Oh, okay.
yɛnhwɛ wɔ sini mu da bia
We could share was in the bem. We share was in the bem. DSTV way to two. Your chair you cry still.
o menka nkyɛ o ma hyehyɛ o
Anyhow, on she share it. On she share it na samaba. On she share it why bra. On she share. I said maba.
Oh, more evidence. Evidence based conversation.
Upgrade to compact for 285. Pay by November 3rd. So go and on share it.
If you don't upgrade, if you don't pay by November 3rd, it means that you are not in job.
Back to factory settings.
Factory settings, okay. All right. To us na I mean him be a prince wa agenda be on body ba
agenda be ni ho na education minister say ono ana na asem aba for can be
education minister
na asem na asem bi amba asem esi e wa education mu education minister na ngasa de na asem bi amba
no say ono ana koka say on authority say kwala na be dress it is a participant of beauty pageant.
No, but that is based on Asema AC. I know no kofa buy. What the American say?
But the point is that no Maoli 70th anniversary.
He was speaking on an existing issue.
Issue of what?
Of a sa video na ba bontina ye
akorality no. Yeah.
A man for can say omonti asese.
I didn't need
2025.
Na me
I would say you in Kolati.
Me. Say me de me baba school. Now susanity ni wa. You have no business so be touch akolanity.
Of course.
Frame.
But there be first and foremost. First and foremost.
There were
grooming rules. wo ho a e wo se wo for no muhunu ansa na wo de akoda na ba school.
Yes.
So you don't come and tell me say you are unaware of the grooming rules e wo ho. And then when you come, because the moment you come, Pachemba, the moment you come without abofrano adhering to the grooming rules, watumra.
Said the TBA.
Watumra.
No, said the TBA. So tumra, wouldn't and so was a punishment. Say,
watumra.
Me say you have no business so be touching me vanity.
Where is that coming from? A video now you na school no dey akola no ko so unity no. And I say SMBA school na you obiti. I want to understand.
You are making reference to.
But I do remember say your school.
And now you are making a reference to.
Yeah.
And I make us say adia e koswa. E say jaye ni ya. So office me ba no. Said yes so twa ne ti kofo mo no. When twa ne sa no de buy. Nti e say kofo mo a ka kire me. Na me fa me ba na me ko twa ne ti.
I do not remember any school doing that
I don't understand
arbitrarily.
However, when you say yesano, uko school na we jafra. Teacher de apaso
from
middle na wa wunyi wuti wa na no.
I
don't think say ABAC recently. But I'm saying so Biba. The discussion is not about say the school has a right to say ubeti for omo abeya or omunyo. The conversation is that school no essay yemfa etiri tintin emaha.
Adentia.
Meba channel short. Obeshe uniform way. So won't mean kwashe achimota uniform. Emfa nkwa akra girls enkotena classroom say wudi kosua de ho.
Yes.
Enti ye uniform nie. Mpab na say kra mpabwa uniform. Ye mpabwa obeshe nie. Enti eno eka ho as your appearance to the school.
Yes.
The other half of the conversation is that why say yem pene Emma yemfa etire ye enko school.
Yes.
That is where we can have a conversation. Because as at now, I have not really heard the acceptable or the institutionalized reason for
yes.
Obia ka obi say na abemo my kolabone and who would be grooming the hair when they are in school, in boarding school. And they are metiano no. But I also know schools are and yet secondary though. JHS primary na they have a specific hairstyle for all the girls.
Yes.
Won't mean fa ehwi
enkushim. Ebi aye kon ro.
Won't mean fa ehwi sinse wanim. Won't mean fa beats
and
shishem. Ubebo kon ro all back. Throughout the school term. Madam for ne bakosa school ni bi no. Omo makwan a ene otumi bo omo rasta. Otumi mo omo chiponi ene ade. But school reopens all back home row with your own hair. Into ten po. So if they are able to actually tell us why it's not allowed, that's okay. Again, the issue of Ebema Escafoni here from the unnecessary competition and pressure going here from Bason. I don't understand. They are not saying that. We are not saying say make it a rule that every girl in the school bonity. That's not what we are saying. Again, we are not saying say allow every girl in the school to braid any hairstyle they like. I think say me mamo omo secondary school ebia somewhere 1979 80 to 83 no. I remember some catch them say no mo bo mutikon ro. Enti no ema obia sua se na eboti wo school ho. Enti weekend no obia omobo mo ho we bo we ne yonko no so abo no. And I didn't see anything wrong with that. Enti no emra so ewo ho. If the school system is that yembo yetim ma me hu ehun asembia mom honestly. But those saying say ena why the big niama omo ena yemo obi abo style or pe any ade. The other schools na secondary schools, private ones na omuma omubo omutiko no. Emema no kra bo kon ro ni bi. and my style or pay echo star school no. What has happened to the girls or what has happened to the children there? I just want to understand reasons here. And people have brought evidence of other races. A rule is a rule.
There shouldn't be any exception. But in the case of
exception in what? Because in the we case, know that time, back in the day, Mekai, na obi eko school bi, and na wo for no eko try and throw school was say for some medical reason or say for religious reason or say there be insanity. Omo ja no more go school no.
Yeah.
And see, every parent should now go and lie just to keep their children's hair. Minimal kolabi we did 8 and now on one catch mommy say I'm tired of doing my hair, so cut it. And then mommy go try and come on we waves was so man. And then yaji. And possibly they should give the room with restrictions kakra. Say be I want me emfa beat and she would see want me more rasta 10 or something.
Bet me about cornrow.
Me about cornrow.
That's all back. That's all.
No aba.
And no, I don't know. Want me for be young.
Like me ko who on Facebook so be say school be Accra ha. So we a day student. I wait to be about it. I don't want to mention the names because I don't have evidence.
Evidence of course.
Yeah. We a day student. I wait to be about it. Then it means to me no.
We a border there.
To me then it means that as a border no. Unya konya say we go outside so we go wash uti na wa bo na bibi ntia na. We are border there, I wouldn't mean you, but we are distant. Then I was like, if this is a government secondary school and a T-boy is allowed that, then what's the point? A man for be more argument in the say they have seen people of foreigners ye ja omo bumuti omo yomuti and so we jo natural hair no ewa ewo ho. And then we have our own children now. We may mutri hu gu omukon echi ya minye bia etwa aye weave on ashe.
Sakola no osi okusku osi onkucha.
Why?
Because when trying tinentia oye enono indiscipline.
See, that's what my problem is and with the explanation of it. I said yes. They really don't have a reason.
So the explanation is that
they really don't have a reason.
See, me wafa see ya Kwadwo oko holy child. Omode command I do college. Me bufu ye ya oko the first choice.
I do college and you're private.
Private. Yeah.
Now have they now roped them
yes.
into this time?
Yes. Some private schools, yes.
8 ones mo command at the college and then so the first so you do be far from near far from and okoni holy child Kwadwo Sefah we did 13 years on trying tida Sefah on trying tida because oko holy child ts akola ni kuchanity. In fact it was difficult for that young girl. So Christianity. I didn't hear. Sefah. So that's the only idea. Indiscipline. Hairstyle.
I am looking at some of the specific grooming rules at what senior high schools are and there are a lot here.
You see, say we are indisciplined, irrespective of your dressing. We are indisciplined.
Of course, but indiscipline has got nothing to do with your outlook.
Your outlook, your appearance.
Indiscipline has got nothing to do with your outlook.
But education minister, we will not tolerate indiscipline. And
no,
how?
Indiscipline. No, I think that in this sense, indiscipline as in
yes, and you're going against. Exactly, you're going against.
That is what he means by that.
But minister
not
is
that
saying,
Ubo here indiscipline.
There be any son American minister na semina okan, and he's quoted to say, "Young Peneso, my own dress it said you're contestant of a beauty pageant.
My own dress is send ya wo pe. Ewa bra school
There
no
are
one the
rules.
code, the dressing code wo.
Yeah.
That's it.
There are rules.
Enkwala address enkwala ehye eko school. One address it said you oko beauty pageant.
Obiba. You say you school. You call form 1 he say uniform e de my na your friend na aba fresh. Ten.
Yes. Unyi uko wanimu no. Uko wanimu na life ba omu. Na o ye tenten. Obi okra otimi kobu ano. Ye nyina ye ni.
Obi be kwa akotwa so.
Sefa, me no ye was secondary school no. Ye sure see.
However,
near wo the even the temperament see ye kwa akobo ho. Ene ye wo fase mo mukui. Ye de mama, omo kobo ho.
Ebi mu ye.
Na form kama, eye fe. Eno no nkyere se o beauty pageant.
That's not what the I think we are losing sight of the real questions we are supposed to ask.
What I'm saying say akola ne ba school form 1. Now man pinafo say skirt. Na eye if you kasi mu abawa akola no.
So one hour the one what do you lose from wearing it?
What do you lose from wearing it?
Sabia West next one who ebe uregu and
yes obebo ho. Na fitting the camera.
What I'm saying is that the conversation should be say ebia we want to understand why that rule is. And I make her say as at now obian share that entre mu ntre me yie ma mensi ase.
Ye ene AI ni ade na aba eno na ese robotics ni ade na ese ye kire nkwala ni wo school. Enya tare eni omuti hairstyle omudi beko school.
That's the point. That's the same point. So why are you worried about your hair or your uniform being long?
Me say. It doesn't matter. You see, ene textbooks cry wo school mu cry na ho yedin. That should concern us. That eno na ese ye debate. Eno na ese minister no ko gina ho a. Those are the things that we raised for national discussion and debate. How to improve our maule no ko no. Obeko no na dormitory na ono tamo no owo tamale secondary school. Na oda enipa 3 o se 4 no. Obeko na enipa be 16 enegum. That should the minister should be raising at such fora for national debate. Not akola. See, me. What I am saying is that say akola ne best school. Na o kire na eniema nyina oho na o kire na de. O kire no na o ti de o kire na se a. Sa niema we emfa ne ho onkoye bio. Yen kire nkwala no ade a ebe na competitive sa kwala no wie maule secondary school. Na onya kwan ekọ ebi a MT your friend is simple. MIT a okọ a oni the ofri Britain aba, the ofri South Africa aba, the ofri Uganda aba. Omu nyina so omu class a they are pa.
Is that not the same thing the minister is saying? That let's focus on what is important. Let's focus on what is important.
But we focus on the tangential
it is not
focus on
Prince, you remember, and I'm trying to get into the history of grooming and sensational. At a point in time, I mean, is he a Jew or hopper?
Oh yes.
Lice infestation.
Yes.
At a point in time.
Yes.
And so at a point in time, one more form 4. And they catch was on to me more trim because we trim you fool.
A bit me,
ama and I think that was when a Geo. And so once any near New Year. And so your by a catch was be a boatino. Said the bear and one, a bit me who woman not idiot drew up from that explains why perhaps Abia Momika say Tamamuku school no more a con rule. But then fast forward. I mean that's how I want us to contextualize the conversation. Fast forward. Whatever the infestation was as of that time, it goes to if in what then is the essence of say ye kase and Kwadano best school a year chinchina chia between 1 and 2 inches. That's according to the that's official document.
See,
Ghana Education Service Code of Conduct for Pre-tertiary institutions.
Sefah,
that's what they are saying.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly. You know, Mesome Oba, my unity.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And me as a woman, it is easy. It makes life easy. say what sorry you don't have to go and comb hair, you don't have to it makes life easy.
But what about
until obi or secondary school? So what sorry, or she doesn't have to worry about her. Hey, meeting we say you and I say na and one say we jarim when no kwa. It makes life easy. It makes life simple.
what about cornrow?
Cornrow ehufu. Until within the time no wo school na ehu efua. Ebi kure mu ayefi emuke kano, all those things. What am I saying? But for me, the bottom line is that even Uko police they have a uniform.
Of
they
course.
have a way you are supposed to.
Of course.
I would do I will say send was a mission uniform linear. It's all part of the training. Say compliance is important. This is what the school says. It is not something that is going to put your life in danger. It is not a risk. And apart from that, it is just 3 years.
Then
or
after
even
3
2
years,
and
you
a half
can you can return to wherever it is. that you
Apart from that, and also no, God in His own wisdom,
And I know that some of the schools allow Form 3
and there are
students.
choices. Choices. There are schools that allow etibo.
Yeah.
And tipam no cham no. Then take your child to school. But I still stand by the fact that the reasons being given now and yet tangible to me.
Yentu aswe. Na yemfa. Baba minyaya ansana.
SOS.
Yeah.
Oboniti koy. Ni level si. Kama oko school abrochi. Me eno na concern me.
Airboarding.
Yes.
Airboarding.
Yes. Legacy girls. Okoy, Erajwa, Obonitia, ni level si papebi. Oko school, league, ewa bruchire. Me eno ne hia mi o se me ba no.
Saso.
Se me ba no obeko every girls.
Ghana national. Obiko every girls.
Of course.
Harvard.
Harvard. Yes.
So that should tell you that is not the issue here.
Yes. So the American say.
So your focus is on the kind of messaging the education minister came up with.
Mena meti ha no Sefah. Sakola no obetwa ne ti o. So obebo ne ti o. Di hia me pa say me ba na me de na ba school sa 3 years na obedi wo ho no.
Ne ho so.
The purpose ti akola ne ba school mu ho no. Because secondary school na a springboard. After secondary school no se wanko university kra obetimi aye bibi o pese oye bia 98.9 enu ene hia mi o baby ewiase ko sese no enye sa kola bebo ne ti anaso obetwa ne ti ena ese ye ka ho asem ene yi o
just about 2 minutes past the hour of 7. Give me this quick one because we may not have time to have this conversation. But a prelude to a conversation that we're looking at saying Yankopon Mo na betimi atena se na ye di extensively. So stick and stay with us. Yamfa the obokrata ahodo no etifin 7 be infamity for live on the show this morning. My main Kyle and going common ye no but has got to do with ensatraya aba e wo sika yenya efiri fa ngo emu no. Kwan be fa so a ye di bedi dwuma e wo mamu. Ebere bi atwamu na embra anase hye wo ho se sika ebitimi nya ofa ngo mu de edi ye no na ye di bi ekokɔhye adesua mu ye di bi ekokɔhye eye ahobambo edwuma mu ye di bi ekokɔhye eye apomodini emu ne ye di bi ahye infrastructure adansi akwanyo ene de keke ka ho mu enei ensatra na ebaaye as in April May 2025 na kyeremu se aban aye na adwene se e wo se ye di ani esi se sika no eba ye de bekwa akoye infrastructure enko a ejusanso ben ene betimi efrimu aba especially on our education and the other sectors that can ye de fan won faso fan wo ayi tu o manwu so faso sika enya frimu no nanka kan ye de ekro no. That's conversation number 1. Conversation number 2 has got to do with drivers. Asenkafo ku ahodo a omo manwu se ebre bi atwam the minister for roads and highways ura amwakwata nana monto bi otu ni dwumadi bi a wodi ye no anso ani waye omano bukata wabo omano kapaaye disenkebe ya ban fufure ya wabaye omoden a enya hwehwemu na oma emra eni owura Amoakwata. Edian Sem and Omoka. Yen mpanyifo bi hu nkomo. Na mu sisi and the Chronicle the Bokrata no. Yen fan shase and anopai.
Fatty de Beba.
Yes.
You know my
I thought it was your agenda.
No, you know
my agenda out there about me.
You know my likeness for Honorable Abena Osei Asare.
Yes.
But I think Enra, she went overboard.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Please, Mpacho. I mean, come on, me can we now be here. My respectful view is that the former Deputy Finance Minister, Member of Parliament, in fact, in the fourth term, no way.
Yeah.
She's a very senior member of our Parliament, and the chairperson for the Public Account Committee.
Yeah.
Ne nanka even on wankasa upon sober reflections, obehu se oko overboard kakra with okwanya eno ne DVLA boss on no interaction.
Yeah.
I think she's always been composed. I don't know why Enra there. Because they've been and someone abom nimu a nanka me face senko be flipia ka say numpo. Even that, even enumpo no, she was calm, composed, and exercised a lot of restraints. But Enra dear, madam, with all due respect, madam, I think say she went overboard. I'm not saying say ma on seek for understanding of issues, more questions.
Yeah.
But I think the way I would treat you, the CEO of the Drivers Licensing Authority,
Vehicle and Licensing, Drivers Licensing Authority. Yeah. DVL.
CEO. No. I think so.
Julius Nikwe.
Yes. Yeah. Nanka obetimi exercise a lot of restraints.
Okay. So that's your statement.
Yes.
And I tend to support a portion of that particular statement because especially when she made a statement said Sasimio Kodakro be class 2 cry can actually explain it. That's I mean that was really that was really demeaning.
You see, I don't want to.
But that was really demeaning.
I don't want to.
And the gentleman, Fati, hold on.
So what would you say?
What
would you say to? I don't expect you to ask this question. What would you say to that?
Hold on.
What would you say to that?
Hold on. But that should not trigger.
What would you say? No, do you understand? I don't expect you to ask that question.
But I don't expect you to ask that question because perhaps you are already aware of how things work.
Maybe they are even document before you that
you are
even
privy.
Explains
absolutely
what
not.
we are talking about.
But
Fati, the question that she asked, is
it not a valid question?
I'm coming. Fati. The chair of the Public Accounts Committee is already fully aware.
There have been briefings.
Of course, if you want clarity to the matter, you could have asked for
I don't want to use a word I want to use. But I would. I think you are coming from a very compromised.
No.
Yes.
And you are making this discussion men and women.
It is not about men and women.
That's what you are doing.
It is not about men and women.
That's what you are doing.
Whether she is a man or
she
she's a woman.
Overboard. Even on
haven't I even sat here and asked that question before? Haven't I sat here and asked that question before?
But what we are saying is she could have asked those questions.
You do not tell people how to respond or react.
She didn't exercise emotional intelligence if that's what you want me to say.
Did the man exercise emotional intelligence?
There was
please.
For me,
please.
I felt Lugas should have answered the question when it was first asked.
Yes.
That notwithstanding.
Yes.
I feel.
If you don't expect her to ask you that question, then why are you there?
Anyway, Yentuaso. Niemfa the Bokrata no ahodo na no pen family for never. You have your say on the show later on. 0551563916 0555657278. The Happy Morning Show and also goes out here.
For all the news updates, trending topics, good music, and unbiased analysis of various issues, listen to the Happy Morning Show on Happy 98.9 FM. We are your morning companion.
Of course, and come on, EDD no open so chere waju na betimi akọ WhatsApp 0594 051145. WhatsApp number no. And no double crack out no abajum do no a and no pay yemfa etifin sem ne bi ni emu sem ne bi emfamrel. I am interested in one of the stories one of the newspapers and it was talking about the level or the rate of air pollution and these are matters that concerns me. And no if I'm who ye pa we'll get into some of these matters. But in Komaya Betucheno, we're doing to media about 0594051145. Lee Yemfa Chronicle double cratano. And Kwe.
Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. Abina Asari. And I am Kopon Ekatreno. Banner headline anope ewaha. Obiba candidate abepiemu ewaha. I engineer Kwabna AJ Japan or say I am still in the race. Vote aseho until ukodu ayeka chiro delegates. Baumia is the best candidate to win power for NPP and also ewaha. How Dangerous installed its 26th king and also ewaha noma omode a year or therefore Buamponsem the fourth or city in states Enfoni Abba. Na mekai yesano
our city in state.
Or city in states. No brofu na me translate Abba.
You na brofu na.
I'm say sitting in states. It's your city in states. Otinedwem. And me say yesano na ye di ogwafe to afehye na ahemfo ni nyina omoba ebehyiemu ewo Mfantepem school on the hilltop ebegu nsa wo nana kwa abute
FM 98.9
ombosom ne ene kwa abute no oye red enti no omo nyina abehyiemu wo Mfantepem honom na afei no omo ahyehyehye omo ho na omo ato sante anam krom abesen akọjo wo fa wasem efie so na omo de aba abesen eko na eno na boamponsam na yisuro ne pa.
I didn't try.
Because na brafo no, they were scary. No mo ba na omukuta akoko no matiniti. No mo di moja ne eh. Na yesuro mo. Hey,
moja ne jinjo.
Dentra hene. Na yesuro Buamponsem.
Papa. Enti Buamponsem abebi wasan.
New one.
Aba.
Ntena na me say city in state.
Okay.
Eno ena wo hai. Yento aso emfama we. For your mount pressure on JM to appoint new defense minister. I say ma me catch you. Wa swear is I can already baby. Crown was with a pay was a little cash finance one. Abazinta wa swear in them. Yan to swear. DVLA to face out number plates with year of registration. Into no, not just say almost 30 years old. The cars that are already registered, you know. I also no more sisa. Not they don't have to.
They don't have to
like pay money to register because
you're going to change it. But for the plate, of course, you scan your plate.
And I have to
pay something for the plate. So as for example, what DVL renewal? Of your driver's license.
Yes,
of course, it's the same.
And me say me kana me tono me train January na mato. Because I absolutely
me soon die na Honda CR-V ni nyina
absolutely never said me TSK if I already had a car
because of Ebufu kakre.
Yeah.
Honorable Abner Seyasare missed the opportunity to ask the questions.
There were other people on the committee. There are other people on it. There are other people there, so they can also
unlimited
ask their questions.
Time. Unlimited number of
people
questions.
Who can also ask
as the chair of the
public account committee. So he missed the opportunity to ask because of
I've sat here and asked questions and asked for clarification. I hope that they do have plans of massive information driver omo ebeye na omo edinchemu papa because me say no o meka nche say my register me card that I ewie me wo me number plate na me ba be say o beji miska for sign the plate. I didn't ask you to sign
DVL send them menchia me madam for director of corporate affairs
so bechia no
Steven Atu mechia
u bechia no
ma menchia me nyonko no so HQ DVL
me de me ni adamfo bia ho
ura obin ma menchia na no na menchia chief executive officer of DVL no ne jo na chia na ura Nikoi Logas. The grassroots president. Composed. Of course. The
two private security men. Minimo show as a woman or as a son of a woman and fire. Two private security men remanded over alleged land guard activities. Sefah will be needing your services very soon. Two granted 50,000 cedi bail each for alleged visa fraud. Yentua swear Obiba favorite story and so ewaha. Long hair will no more be no more. Say I don't understand. What is the code now?
My code no.
No long hair will no more be entertained. Saying.
But your my code no. This is Ghana Education Service Code of Conduct for Pre-Tertiary Institutions. It was the 2024 edition, Pacho, the Omuni, Ghana Phone and Montini. Now, when it comes to a year grooming, I'm specifically going to hair. Or say your hair must be short and neatly trimmed, low cut, not longer than 1 to 2 centimeters, no dreadlocks, weaves, or extensions, unless medically, culturally justified with proof. With proof.
It was because of the Achimota case.
Yes. So
and the court judgment.
Medically or culturally.
Yeah.
Culturally, no. Evidence ben am
anyway. So culturally, for example, if you be or no Caucasian. And the culture of the Caucasian and the culture of the Caucasian is that they don't trim.
Yes.
And I may say, me mama kwa Jamie or bosom ho. Bosom this year in Jamity, a baby by me. And don't make a for confound on him about school when I have bro evidence and
anyway.
And I'm a go school.
My main we into us where regular barber checks unkempt hair is an offense. For female students, they say it must be short and plaited neatly. Example, simple cornrows or twists. No longer than shoulder. Because this year is 2024. No longer than shoulder length.
Where does that apply?
Cornrow.
In what situation does that apply?
So there is no specificity when it comes to a year.
Please read that part again. I want to understand.
Must be short.
No.
For male students, and I'm a boss no. For female students, rules for female students must be short and plaited neatly. Example, simple cornrows or twist, no longer than shoulder. Length loose. No longer than shoulder length when loose. No long hair, weaves, wigs, attachment, or fancy styles. Example, no curls, highlight, or elaborate braids. Natural hair allowed if kept very short and tidy. No locks unless exempted. So that's why I wanted to read it.
What's the issue?
So if you have to go by the argument from the education minister and the pre-tertiary education group.
Sefah.
Yeah.
No, maybe we should get maybe at the online and books maybe we should get a copy of the old school because second road here na nka me wo fa ase nyameche onyina na nka obetimi abɔ ne conro ade akọ because onumpo no conro no pe all back no pe anyways
ye nto aso ene I'm say ye dembre na ka enwi hu nsam kwa
fati
yenko Nigeria
producer
yenko Nigeria
ene abusum mbe ye be ombedo so ye ni evidence bia I just hope it's nananum. Long hair will no more be entertained in senior high schools. Harry Nadrisu and Eka smuggling. Factual, so say in government senior high schools. Legacy for smuggling is killing local businesses. Fabag ones and Ewo Ahanum Saso and Newmont appoint Danquah Aduyobo as Ghana country manager. As a phone, yes, so it will be soon.
Danquah. Aduyobo.
Danquah is spelled as Saudi.
Semi dear na pepe. Yo, Mate.
I brought away. I was all day echo baby, one for uncle. Sefa, I was all day echo baby, one for uncle. Meme dear Momo. See you know, and I was a medimoko because I am me papa.
Oh, okay.
Shaibu.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Nigeria to host maiden meeting of IPI Africa bloc. Alleged terrorism. Kanu declines to enter defense, insists no case against him. 5 teenagers killed in Gombe boat accident. Government Yaya Mons. Police bust baby factory. Human trafficking syndicate in Ondo State. Way the Chronicle.
Mepacho Ghanaian Times and 10 we won't tolerate indiscipline. Education Minister and the Yaya Huajuma Papa. NOB Cratcher Micras or Monomo secondary school now coherent the Omo ye no. And ya the Ketua and so need.
Section 2.13 improper dressing. Subsection D. Students should have decent haircut as prescribed by the school authorities. Hair should be clean, neat, modest, and avoid extremes in styles and colors. Men's hair should be neatly trimmed and beard clean shaven. Students shall not wear chains, bangles, caps, braces. Wearing of spectacles shall be medical prescription. Bleaching of skin by a student shall not be allowed. This is code of conduct for students in the pre-tertiary levels of the way
Ghana Education Service.
That's there. So that's not me. Yeah.
Okay. And also Huajuma Kosono producer Beboa na yetimi ayini ye. President Mahama Akufo-Addo orders lead tribute to Nana Kwadwo Agyeman Rawlings. Nyame oba papa. Nyame emfa ne kra ensie ye papa. Medical expert warn expectant mothers against misuse of terrorists inti and also fati sa asem we say ye ka ho asem pa inti pe onkrofo ni bi ne enka ho asem ye pa. KGA group chairman receives Forbes Best Africa Corporate Leadership in an Innovation Award enra ye ka ho asem ye papa. Court warns Professor Ameya Krumfi over delay in JIIF trial. Yes, you say 2 weeks ago, and a bar say on any lawyers no. Only omo nyadwen kranti no. Omo nyina say omo mdi na chibiem enko court. Yes. Asemwa ono an ekoka e kire court sa. E na o ahye court ne say oni omo they would ombenya Professor Ameyanko.
Oh, okay.
Yes. The
SkyTrain issue no. Eno akokan enrai asem ne court lawyers be and in chiama. Eno ena try judge no aka kire ne say papa wan hwe ohun yi a ye be di asem no
lawyer bi
enka ho. So wa agene asem ni to 29th of October 2020 5 intention so inspector jailed for life over murder of Majwa Mokai Edum Majwa asem no fati ebae no after 2.5 years no court no ashe say inspector ye friend no Ahmed Chumesi ene die onko afiase ninde nyina for life enti eno so eno no 34 arrested over clashes at Ojura Festival. Kwadwo unimso Ojura Festival ekosi ne boyefo bi ekotutututu okodi nyambransem ene Eastern Regional Police Command ndi ababetu dwa se enipa maako eduasan de omo aso mu a omo de omba akogina court no edi omo asem. Chief of Staff Advocate Partnership between Government, Private Sector and Innovators. Also, the editorial of the Ghanaian Times and now the city at 60 pride heritage. Yemfesia we the Ghanaian Times and anopay.
The Inquisitor Dobokratano extradition of fugitive Ken. What must be known? Dr. Dominic Kutringa Ayeni, Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Nifuni Daha, Ken Oforiatta, former Finance Minister, and Ura Kisi Ejabeng, Special Prosecutor, and Panyinfomi and San Enomudin, Enyumufoni Ewo, Dobokrata Nenimua, Kasa Ediafa, Ura Ken Oforiatta, and Iwuni Omemuna, Ura Kisi Ejabeng, one Special Prosecutor, say, Waton Safran, or Chentracha Wamra, na want to know Ewo, and Simbia, a Fed Dream Katashe, and Ekankan, a bra, na, waye, or men for Samfo. Ghana secures $30 million grant from China. We Sika China abino de Emma Wamai Ghana say Yemfani Ijuma Ahudo na Uhe Krata Nanimua Ura Xi Jinping ene Yaman Panini, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ene Wamu Ijinaha Wamu Achia den Nempa Napo makes waves on New York streets and Forbes honors KGL's Alex Dade. Plaintiff withdraws in Regimanuel Gray appeal. And Frema Mons Kunadu. The Inquisitor, the Obokratano, and I pay offer then some bit me whom I can campaign.
The New Republic, 2 million SkyTrain saga. Produced lawyer, judge gives American fee 2 days. Mother tongue policy starts from KG to Basic 3. Education Ministry clarifies. Put your phones away. But I would like to state that Adewe is not new.
No, it's not. So I think that during 2012, 2013, when the vice president, the current vice president, was the education minister, that issue came up, and it was an instruction. It was a directive as of that time. So it was ma L1, which was the local language of Nkwada Ahodon, and it was intimidated and Zemu Etremo Frano at basic school. So those who have not been following,
and it wasn't a matter of tree.
Debbie.
It is your mother tongue, your locality, baby. Our school, no.
The dominant language.
Yeah. Not that I saw some places almost say teach them in tree. It's not about tree because in your locality be an omoka tree. It is Kasa Aqualano or Nimufia or the Asian school national and no asem na ye king. Whatever language.
Of course.
Put your phones away. Board chair warns nurses. Demand focus and discipline. Sasso and a $2 million overpaid. 39 million cedis unpaid. Government slaps a Japan with final demand over equipment deal scandal. DACF looted and wasted 94 assemblies caught in web of ghost projects, missing trucks and stolen cash. Way air the New Republic.
For the daybreak and twaso and anopay. 3 killed MP's house burnt in deadly Binduri gun attack. Kwadwo insecurity you. Maka ho asamba be abosumi mienu ni insecurity. 3 killed, MP's house burnt. MP for Binduri ni fie ye tweja tum. Ene picture e denimu no hwe. Picture denimu no. Yen hwe ni ye pa. Eno eye de esi e wo Binduri ene obi crofobia fatuo sanse omo atoto tuo hihye omo hunti no omo sore ya na ejamum. Light wave saga, alarm blew over 100 million health data due. 400 more facilities yet to be captured on system. Kwadwo, so when you say ne okoye hospitals now, we are back to folders.
Yeah. That the other thing we had a conversation around that.
Say okwa say ne uko hospital, government hospital, you be ye folder amount.
Na first no we were.
So we moved to an electronic system.
Yeah. Okwa, oye lab. Okwa, oye print lab nema. Okwa esi oye de ato doctor no. Ne system ne so nti ko ode kwa ye ready ode ko. Doctor no tro druma wa on ma prescription, on tro prescription e ma. Obe de be ko se ko pharmacy ho. Okwa.
Na say empese ye to wo hwe.
So okwa na pharmacy ni bidi a.
Na obi kra na empese me to wo hwe.
No, but yes, eno de say eno ye we. So what I say. But weekending, me kwasro obi o hospital. Ye ko any food that than nchen. Ni nyina na light wave. Omo ena ye company a sa ye technology no. Omo ye hospitals ni nyina ene link no wo ho. Okwa the doctor no trans obo bibia ye bibia kama paper nye paper folder ni ade no. And because of owura minta kando maka ho asem da because osusu se bibiboni bi ekoso ewo sa deal no munti ono ohun se de on renew ohun se de on to aso enene thereby you say $100 million na ene krampo de you say 400 more facilities yen capture am enti yen capture am a ni ya capture bia enti ma mo capture am nka ho Oni omon kasa na omon capture omon kan and ekura hospitals e bia be count e be bro 400. They can omon capture on because the point is that eya de pa obi a wako hospital ayusu sa system ni bia e be catch say eya de pa but said ye niema no sa na e be koso aye na MIIF Partners Internal Audit Agency for Audit Skills inteno so ha KGL Group chairman that honored Finance Minister to present 2026 budget November 13. We the daybreak and no paying.
Yemfa the catalyst, the Wokrata, no, it seems to be infant so and from our monitor. Akufo-Addo is our most field leader in a generation. Imani Boss replies Fatima Tobuakar, former information minister. Ibi Bright defends Tema facelift campaign, accuses critics of misinformation in the election of duty. Attorney General insists JA planned pool received $2 million overpayment for drip contract. Prove it. And Yabontrina Babeka court. Go and prove it at court. KGL Group Chairman Alex Apaudade honored with Forbes Best of Africa Corporate Leadership and Innovation Award. We the catalyst to double. And it's not as if it will be MP, Attorney General, Minister for Justice. The point is that some of these things, and Abontene is not the court. If you have proof, go to court. You don't need us. You don't necessarily need us. Can I attend? Should we be the people to go and take the money from the said person? Or say we overpaid the person? And so the engineer penny say, of course, indeed, you prove beyond reasonable doubt. That's what we want.
So see US.
You know one problem I have.
District attorneys can't.
I feel like we tend to individualize these things instead of. So obviously, you do go to institution anymore. Will steer the affairs of the institution. But there are checks and balances institutionalized regardless of which individual is in charge, I will say to me, Gina. Usually, we tend to look at one individual, maybe the leader. Then the institution, another new leader will go and continue doing the same thing that the old leader has been accused of. Now because I don't see why institution there is a chief financial officer, there is chief director, is budget officer. Even a buying sick and wine here, or more muchi scano, until almost bisa question. Nothing. Into a mudi and nam hosa.
So if there was an overpayment, is it
J plan? They also issue a
statement. But man, so I'm talking about the process.
Call whoever paid them.
So to overpay me.
That's a very good point, Afatia.
So overpay me.
I understand. Maybe I'm expecting 500 from you. What's send them a 10?
Because you see,
maybe I'm at your age now, so that's fine. But who now will send them a 10?
Because you see, all the time the target is politicians. ɛno na ɛyɛ ameka ho asɛm da bia no all the time target no ɛyɛ politicians enti ɛno nti na ɛyɛ a yɛde yɛ saa nneɛma wei but ɔno no attorney general ne wura fi sɛ ɔno nso yɛ politician.
The National Enquirer Ewaha Forbes Annex KGL Group Chairman Alex Apaudade with Best of Africa Corporate Leadership and Innovation. Over 1,500 illegal miners arrested so far. Land Ministry Ena Eka Mahama to appoint new Defense Minister soon. Kwadwo Sefah-Danquah, Ghana elected first Vice Chair of AU Committee on Agric, Rural Development, Water and Environment. GIPC launches regional investment roadshows in Volta and Oti regions. ZVLA issues 14,400 DP stickers in September, up from monthly average of 1,800. Hey, I'm up for Niska. Hey, talkers. You. Yearly death from air pollution in Ghana rises to 32,500. And no, ewo ahanum. Entisa, ena etia. Ube to me enye bi akan. Stop pointing.
So yemfa the overseer entwaso ene anopeye ato forcing to present 2026 budget on November 13 will unveil post IMF fiscal blueprint into yenhye 13 into Sefa ye ho niema tentem ni hu se de beye no na fa budget ne ka ho ntem na pushi na enye kama pa ya ye no te se de oye ne ba ko no ye no double of the obi abenya enye kama ADB strong tenor.
You want to be overpaid then? Yes. Go.
ADB per double salary. ADB strong turnaround continues as it records 153.66% profit growth, hitting 447.49 million Ghana cedis pre-tax profit in third quarter 2025. Enti ubehu the venerable Edward Ato Sapon ono and MD of ADB. Fatisa yati ade yati di.
Ma be yechia ura
Ato Sapon.
Ura
Ato Sapon. Agric Minister Eric Opoku engages international media during World Food Prize event in the US. Enti ono so ojinamu pa NDC primaries no presidential primaries no obeko bi pa enti bibia kama pa honorable Eric Opoku MP for Sunafo North.
Yeah.
Yes.
Enti yemfa we ntwato. The hawk the obokrata no. Tension in Nkwanta drives parents to Boeman. Abronye Kennedy attack Rex Baumia's campaign. Schools are not beauty contest. Education Minister backs strict grooming rules. And whether her Justice Doche time to rethink free SHS before it crashes. Ufusompo sets up 3 committees to tackle debt smuggling and dirty deals. We the hawk the Bokrata Nanope. We in the entrance so straight up. Already producer Aman and Sasobe 16 times.
Yemfa Aman in Sasuno.
Yemfa social media trends no. Emfamre etifoni efo na no pay. Why? A rapper for teacher boli wa ekrado.
It's too late to say that you are sorry. After you broken my heart. When I needed you to satisfy my soul. You turn your back and said,
Emra so say a day a year social media trend no ebebra no pay ewo happy morning show ne so mesremo ano pay yara mesremo pa so we share on Facebook any medical to j esremo we are going to show you a very disturbing a year video ano pay I the aba any say oba besia etumi anyem say nyankopon ye na dom mane ko 9 months ni nyina o say nyinsa ni do 10 months to say 11 months to say ye premature whichever one no ama nyankopon asan asoe no wawo kama otumi de ntoma achechire akwala ne ho achechire no te say parcel e de na akwato baabi e na wagya akwala no ho na ntoma na ode achechire akwala ne ho no na medwen ho say akwala no nti na otumi home akwala we say no yankopon nim say wo so otena wi asem because no matter what akwala fe ko fertility hospitals ko hwe kwa sorry ko hwe se na me kai say nkwala ya se say ade omu beko school yo mbebo omuti kwa abosumfie ko hwe amanfo musu eje mma e wa abosom esu eje mma e wa sorry esu eje mba e wo hospitals etue ska kese a emfa awo ne kra no wo kwa a risky business by yankopon ayi wadom woda so tinkwam meanwhile ebia ufili se emwa abrochire se no onyim ya na ufili se untumi a na wa start ya your papers a wode akwala ne ko adoption wode ntumi kuri akwala ho say newborn akata nanim ne hwene ne bibia na ode na koto baby arrow na comment by no any mouse the no boat nipa na onim say video ya recorded that I say hurry up and remove the cloth. The child is still alive. Why are you not removing it fast? Mace Kwanse say some no get sense. You can carry it for 9 months, but you can't cater for the baby. Why keep them? Purple Winnie says still better than abortion. Rita say, hey, my prayer topic, and someone has gotten it and see you. Yankopon enya wadom why, Rita. Cheers, I said this one carries a great destiny. They buried her, but she didn't die. Ekosia say, and see me here begging God for just one healthy baby for me and my husband. And look what people are doing. Akosia, Yankopon tie umpaibo. Ms. Woolam say, can I adopt the child? Nanaya Rose said the tiny feet stretched, probably had a very good sleep. God is wonderful. All that rap and still could breathe. A blessed child indeed. I love Kate so much. And I wish I was there to take the child. Kane 7, Yao, I say, thank God the baby is alive. Edith say, I kept shouting, hurry up. Immediately I saw those tiny feet move. Biba Med, I say, this life no balance. The person who gets doesn't need it, but the person who needs it doesn't get. Such is life. Ntisa enetia video no. Etwegu ewo ye Facebook onoma onso ubetumi nya bi na wahwe no. Yemfa ye other trends and so entwa so emfa ma anope ye. Mokai campaign bi na ya no. Sorry wo ho aha na obeda. Anase aha na obedun so. Sa indiscipline ad no. Ai ye nya bi pa ekoso ewo man bu so. Ewo wiase mu a enya asem ketwa. Onu de okuta ne geta ene ni pontimba. Wo ye ya. Odibejam sisi a. Onam kwa ho ewaye ayi traffic warden. So we do traffic light. Na so red. Na opa line na wo se ugina so no ho a. Ene ubeti we uti so. No obo edwuma pa. Amanfo eni age ho papa. Uko comment ni mu a ebi mu se momfa mbra Ghana na motofo yi. Eye omo pesa akra dodo. Line wo ho a yetwa se eho line nechi e na obegina. Ewa abra traffic no aso eye red. Ensu de bia se mo pentem akohin o. Mo bepa line no ho na mako gina na dia we ye isu de we dey ko Facebook na ko hwe bie so was we ni say why ade anya ye de ade no bo trima wontumi nha hwe ko Facebook na ko hwe bi ma ho Hala Designs I say I love it that he gets paid to do this. Love like Via I say why was I not told about this on career day? Sasso and Daniel Lotabo say who else noticed they all had helmets? Brian I say I will fly this month to New York City. We need this work to be done there too. This is beautiful. 60 MPH essay. I think the US has found new jobs for the homeless. I would pay to see this on every corner. Alice essay. You have a good job waiting for you in Houston. Defrost say, I love how everyone is just doing it without fighting back. If that happened here in the UK, there will be a fight. The police will be called and people will be arrested. Nti sa na comment no nso eti ewo ho no ma ukọ Facebook a ubehu video ni bi wo ho na wetumi ahwe. Na sesia ne de video ba ko nso a me de airbrow sound wo mu ana me de airbrow na ukọ Facebook a ubehu say ye video no ewo ho nom wutie yen ewo radio so nso a ene he kaya bebo dam wo ho kaya nyina obi ba yade ahema ye wo ho 200 cedi notes na watam scissors no yi ne so or design or redesign is kano ama wo ka anka ye nko ho rade o paso oyi tire na edaska ne so no we yi omu nyina asoma kama sika ye go e be 2000 3000 meboa 200 cedi notes I walk around me. Joel do me AC na award me. Joel bona eye amanfo ntie. Hwe de oche. You. Luange. You. What are you doing, Wena?
I am doing my school project.
Oh, you Wena, do you know what this is? You. Do you know what this is, Luange?
Yes.
What's this?
Mine.
Then why are you carrying it?
Because it's my school project.
And also the Kwakoye school projects and OE scanner. Sikana and ya Ghana Sikadia, but it looks like 200 Ghana cities. I make us say 200 Ghana cities. A bebro bear is 3,000 cities. Now I know and a comment by no any it's Bianca say this woman is not angry. She is speaking English. I am noble, so she was going to see her maker that day, especially for that attitude. Sasso and Bongani, see, she's still cutting it. Sasso and Reed Jimson say, with confidence, thinking you're gonna be proud of her. Sasso and Ogrimti say, I will turn her into my own project. Sasso and Asi say, I just fainted watching that. How is mom even still asking questions? Sasso and a black onk say, just like that, you are on a one-way flight to Jesus. Intisa and a comment, you know, etia aha, and mede Besha Gibson. 200 CD notes and a other projects, you know, or chucha pictures, no, they are tare a yimu. Ama kama. Kasada ne yebeba na yesisi fati yesi abontin. Neja yakofano edinako baby a edinebeko. Aha. Ubeti esi abonti.
Minti abonti. We say metimi aso.
She.
Meso so ne kakra.
Sika we design and we yi the big six ni nyina efiri mu. Boy,
metimi aso so. Na me dia akọ eye bank. Na emumu no. Obeti na fi afe. So nko school. Ti obeti na fi afe. Ne mama ekwa anu agya ne ho. Ne se ekwa anu agya ne ho. Inu anu mo kwa anu mo agya ne ho. Said there be obetimi esu enyansa kakra to be you need to teach yen kwada no. The hard lesson. Won found sanka omudie. But there are means of punishment. I bet me a punishment. So they will bet me who say nya ye na nye. Till next time no konko ye bi. Minim say obia nka ba this time ko wa bone ba no ba this time ko ye kunu. I'm telling you. Now open art ya.
Hey,
sika na ye art. Hey, boy. Who mama bo no prepare we nya de obia be you. Yenvensia na yɛnkɔ fa aboafo nkrato emra na yɛmfa nkɔmmɔ no aka no nyina nto aso mfama live on the show this morning. Happy 98.9 FM North Kusu Awutie. Yɛnkɔmmra sisi a.
For all the news updates, trending topics, good music, and unbiased analysis of various issues, listen to the Happy Morning Show on Happy 98.9 FM. We are your morning companion.
Efri nyanhini ekosi nro efri haban edi konkwa Ghana bibidro di tumi sorry awodene ene nukremu ebre no dro say ye di Ghana Herbal Conference die di kankra ebro jumadie ebekoso December bosomene da etoso miensa ekopim enum ewo Prempe Assembly Hall Kumasi asemtitra eda jumadie ne so ne harmony in herbalism, balancing tradition and innovation. Bra na bahwe akwan ahodo a ye bibinro na hunu nuru ahodo a yayo ewo Ghana ha na ne adunsifo akukudan ene wonom a wo ye bibinro mu hwemu eni nkoma ehun hia sa adwumadie wonom o maso yasene amiade bramo eye the Ministry of Health, Ghana Federation of Traditional Medicine Practitioners Association, GAFTRAM, Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, and the Center for Plant Medicine Research. Bomodia na kwa be fontin tankese ne so www.ghanaherbalconference.com. DHE ewa be fontin tankese ahodo no so at Ghana Herbal Conference. So pese obeda wunru awayo no edi anase ope baby a ubetimi di unro na sie ewo dwumadie na se a bomodia na frey ewo tetefo homa iso 0202-222-095. Ana before forms ewo YFM Kumasi Inshaya so ben MTN Inshira FM anase Love FM. Ghana Herbal Conference, our roots, our remedy.
Danube Home. Enjoy an incredible 50% off across our wide selection of premium home products. It's the perfect opportunity to elevate your living space with top quality furniture, decor, and appliances, all at unbeatable prices. But act fast, these exclusive deals won't last long. Visit us today at Olusegun Obasanjo Way, Accra, directly opposite the Allied Height filling station. For more information, contact us at +233 50940 3664. Danube Home, your ultimate destination for transforming houses into beautiful homes. Exceptional offers.
For all the news updates, trending topics, good music, and unbiased analysis of various issues, listen to the Happy Morning Show on Happy 98.9 FM. We are your morning companion.
Yamamwachio Niamamwakwaba Eba Happy Morning Show so ewo Happy 98.9 FM.
Mr. Speaker, Akleri, I've just also heard you. Those of us in opposition, we know more things than those of you in government. So if you ask me, I can tell you, all of you, where you are going. But you don't know. That is how it is. When I know Ama Kofi-Boa is going to land. Yeah, you are going to land. Are you scared? Nobody will stop it. If destiny has it for you, you will get it. Why are you scared? Kwame Abuja is going to roads and highways. Yeah, we know Ahmed Ibrahim is going to local government. And a lot of you will remain at the backbench.
Honorable Leader.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Achampo, Mr. Speaker, he has done so well. Yes. I will be surprised if he's not sent to the Ministry of Finance as deputy. I will be surprised. I will be surprised. And Dr. Pak is definitely going to education as deputy education minister. Mr. Speaker, we know. That's why I know Honorable Ayariga is going to assume the black chair. And his deputy is my good friend, Kweku Rickett. Because, yes, Kweku is going to be the deputy minority leader. And, Mr. Speaker, once again, majority of them will remain at the backbench.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Anyway, Mr. Speaker.
The issue before the House is...
For all the news updates, trending topics, good music, and unbiased analysis of various issues, listen to the Happy Morning Show on Happy 98.9 FM. We are your morning companion.
Edru baabi a ya na flute no ebo no na honhom na ba na honhom ne ba sa de a na eye ade ton honhom ene na no pay ye de ebro live on the Happy Morning Show Papa Fati Shabwali awusu tea ma rhyme back oh in the spirit my men friend achama fu nyina na me ma mache na men kan tra achama fu se ochinachi pacho team yi ochina achi nyame pa ya wada ochina achi ifiti no pano akopem bra no nsia bebo ne de ye ne ashaiman ye ne mo na etna se yes isa yenkuku ene yenkaka e de free asylum down all the way from the Kole Clote Municipal Assembly to the Ashaiman Municipal Assembly e hona Happy 90.9 FM yakobo yesisi when you see a drew Hosana dia na ye enkoma edim puntu nkoso ye yo kankro eba Ghana for asitena nkwa na ye kwa akudie ene ye bra na be hia adwadifo empanyimfo adrobafo empanyimfo mansini krachi a wo Ashaiman Municipal Assembly wona na pamfo ba betena se ye ni omu nyina etopono atena se ye di nkomo efa empuntuo ho ewo Ashaiman mansini no mu mesre se Ashaiman na de wakoma so nko ade a eni hu kwan se oyi hu free saa enkoma anyame pa ya wode di animu no ye betwetwe ni mu brabe piem hobi na bia na asem bi de wakoma so apese obusa panyine bi ohwehwe ne kira kwan ya wunya no Happy 90.9 FM Happy on Bills we creating a platform to ensure say our democracy is indeed participatory. Enye se yeto abane wie eyi opanyine bi so oni yanimu kan no ano no akontabuo enkita ho ene nsawosodie ehu hia papa isa se panyine ne kwa ogina wono mo mansine na mu isa wantimi antensem no ase de wafam no a wokwa obroni beka say that person will not be able to fully represent you inti brani ni nkomo 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thursday 30th of October 2025. Don't miss out. Be there. Happy on Wheels. Your voice, your power. Na ebe ya wadansa na fiara na weekend ye kofi dia. Mamenka o semfa ensapan enkofi. Wonu mbaba be piemu ewo Ashaiman market nyame domu a ya wade di animu ni nyina no. Mekanfo dia mawo. Se unya duru dwom wa omodin ekọ mia hodo no yeton enema yeton semina ne de ka ho no na odu hope no aka kyerен se mesre wa Kwadwo Sefah-Danquah erura papa fatisha aboli ne principal kwa Yim Brown ena dabia womoti Happy 90.9 FM morning show so ena omo bo detergent hu dawru dabia omo ka ho asem eye jama detergent powder enti mesre wa mepibi mambi mameni do so puomu e mame ba akopɛ dabi me to bags ne be yemi no de akwa akosifi esanse de omo ka ho asem no kamia se edutwam ene etatahwe pa eti niema no ani se nwan mamen kansi so bio se unya bidi kosi fia wa ena baba ye danseni enya me ena me baba ka trot bigina bontene ana se twefon fa camera si woso na di ho adanse eye jama detergent powder mamen kan fo ma to bi kofie na waa no obehunu dwumadi a edie ewufie eno pe ene yedi aduro bi ahyemu a obroni beka eye multi enzyme stain removing formula eno no esa aduro no ono di okira ne fi sa aduro no ayede ahye jama detergent powder mu no di okira ne fi na ni bo fia na ni bu afu entiane e wode watade ne ewuram ensuo no ensuo yede jama detergent powder agumu no mu a ene isa enzyme no gidigidi no fa if you ombeyi fi ni nyina afiri watade no dia ma enkanka ne nkwada na neis dan se unse ensuo no nhyɛ dan tonte ye ne mfuturo na ba kwada no ko school sa no ba bedru fia ye aya na wo dwendwene eto da bia na abo fu obaba na obaba ma no wadi agora wadidi aye na tade mu a wodwene ho a wonte se unsa da no koto detergent powder foforo disi ye anko but Jama detergent powder entesa entina make am for dia mo na no pay to be fakusifie na ba be di ho dance ya wate. Grab your Jama detergent powder today at any shop near you. Jama, your partner for clean clothes. Me request say nyame pa ye ko na ya kwako ye Happy FM Valentine Mass wedding on the 14th of February 2026 noa eye menyumi ni tete the kusum ensemble no ye bebo ama awarefo no na omode adiasa we kasa bi anim eda form TV. Nani om de to form sa no anani na dondo na one betu 1 cedi air 2 one betu a 5 cedis air 2 one betu 10 cedis air 250 a 100 200 one betu bundles air 2 a Happy FM Valentine Mass wedding 2026 the 20th edition Misrao one more womo e ka omo ho abomu na yaje aware dia ma omo February boso me de toso edunai enfiem pimbiru ne aduonu nsiam wo no edodo no a ba be form square dada aka slot no kuma bi o aka slot no kuma bi nipa dodo aye hwe omo no aka nipa ba ya mienu miensa bi pe na yatum pe no ano no yatum pe na bia wani da so bi anaze ni so de hunu bi se opese o wa de a na ne o de ne be enfiem pimienu ne aduonu enson de no ane enti nei wo mpese obekọ enfiem pimienu ne aduonu enson de no de a bomodia be piemu e wo Happy 98.9 FM your asylum down so what you say unya dru asylum down pebusa se ehemfa e na Happy 98.9 FM ewo ye be so de waba ube ura Happy 98.9 FM pe no akọ front desk o udru pe wo se ane mabo Happy FM Valentine Mass wedding ehu dawura afiansa na maye maadwene se me ba be fa me forms wo ene offer pe e cedi apem e na wutua 1000 Ghana cedis. My imagine say eye ora the special one me pebia mano 2026 die e wo so wa an wa pepepe endia die bebia menye ska na free die endia phobia ho ene bomodia na fatete fa homa na fresh so person do homa be ka ye Happy FM Valentine Mass wedding 2026 nko ho dia 0244143994 and 0302254858 Happy FM Valentine Mass wedding aware on another level. Didn't you make us aware on another level? Just ucha 1,000 Ghana cedis, you get luxurious hotel accommodation, beautiful wedding outfit, amazing reception with great food, stylish decoration, convoy escort, professional premarital counseling, videography and photography, hair and makeup, among others. We know 1,000 Ghana cedis na utiano, and na unya sanima we na dia free. Open a luxurious hotel accommodation akwa koda wo my Ghana mo. Na nkwanchen hotel and as a guest house no kromoji a night ebinomji over 500 Ghana cedis a night na jobako na hwɛ sɛ yɛama anadwo bɛyɛ ɛnan enum na woda hɔ na wodwodwo ho before ansa na bɛkɔ akɔgye awareɛ no after bɛkɔ akɔgye awareɛ no wakɔ ho ne mu nkakra kɔ akɔdwodwo ho ne nyinaa no ɛwɔ 1000 Ghana cedis no mu tie ne yie ne nyinaa no wɔ hefa 1000 Ghana cedis a wobaa bɛtua as registration for registration ɛno ano no. And there is nothing like any hidden cost. Untua bibi fufuru bia emfa nka 1000 Ghana cedis no ho. Tinie. Untua bibia emfa nka 1000 Ghana cedis no ho. Into registration no egu so a ekɔ so abomode na be PM Happy 98.9 FM you asylum down. Na bra be fa form so ate. Jo Sanko eno di dwuma di no ho eye. Tiame wo akɔne abadie ho nsenkan ni nyinaa no. Ade a uhunu no a obetimi akyere mu de akyere wate. Wamenka o se adwumadi ebedi mekyere Happy FM Valentine Mass Wedding 2026 no. Enhyehyeye kakra e wo ho ntimi sere wa aya no ahunu sa nhyehyeye no watimi yedi so. Sa pepepe netie. Dinti amesa na ene se enche bia mensa beka sika kuma bi na mensa ka se sika no a meni era papa fatisha eboli ye konia kwa kopiem o da new home a ewo Abelempi Junction opposite Allied Height. Dinti aye kwa kopiem ho ne se da new home de ba betu anim ese ye mohu dawru enkyere Ghana fo nyina mo amu tie yen na no pai se wo mo niema hodo ma kyire nkonwa hodo abetimi edan mu nkonwa na make kan was me era papa fatisha eboli nim se me de edan mu nkonwa de manage ho pa. Anyway no at unbeatable prices yatete bonus so ohamu chichemu aduonum enye dunum mesi aduonum 50% discount and they atoto so and they de be deco e wo den mu nyina you will be e wo ho appliance ahodo you will be e wo ho ne bo no fofolefo mesrew entwentwen so e masa bri entwemu ansa no ba be gina bonten aka se ai na nsen kura ne ma no ogota na ne bo de ne de keke kan ye mpesa nkomodi no bomodia na frɛ the new home is here 0509-403-664. The new home is your ultimate destination for transforming houses into a beautiful home. So don't miss out. Hurry now. Happy 98.9 FM. Also, so at the the Happy Morning Show. It's my bako enum na bo ediapa no watch home ene anopayen kwa homa na senchas here na yini nkomo. And yeah, a bit too just somewhere around April, May 2025. Afie mu ene se yesika na nkenya edi free eyefa nwa yetu ewo manmu no sisi en sika no adwumadi ebedi no yasakire mu kakra yasakire mu na nkenka na yedebi ekọ adehwansem yedebi ekọ apomodini ensem ne yedebi akọhye akwan ahodo a yeyi adan ahodo a yesie na yede bu adwumadi ahodo aban edi ewo manmu nei yesi yede sika ne nyina mfaso ebenya bia no yede ekọ ne yede akọ akogina akwan yeyi ene aban dan ahodo a wosie se de bi bitimi abo aban adwumadi eno na binom ebusa se we no entimi nyansunsuanso ewo wo man adwumadi a yedi enkanka ene suku ensem yeyedie ewo man mu yenko ne ne wo mu a wo enimde ewo sa ensem mu ye ne wo mu eninkomo because the concerns are that this will have an impact on certain sectors of the economy. Sanity, Ura Benjamin Insia, executive director for SEMSE. Yukua wamodie, bano infimu, enyama hodin emu, bano dada system was a baby to me abo, mia, home buying, inquiry, and soon, so I hope buying, omi infimu, edifahon. Ede womun sama hodo no be gu montene so said ye be ni bitimi ahwe so ne de sigina ye ewo mamu Robin Jaminsia and ano pay ma yemo wachi ne mo akwa ban from Happy Morning Show so ya menia na me wogidi esa pom yoboko de me de ache de ya tie no no se ensatra kakra aba kwan ya befa so bitimi edisika yenya efri fanwa yetu mu edi dwuma ewo mamu se uhwemu a edian ene botaye potea etai ensatra na chie
Metasiminia. But I think that say answer sa Murano Krana Kabutaino if it me achieve. Badoshe Abanya Nibutani say Sika in free a fango are you too ɛkɔtɔn no ɔpɛ sɛ yɛdidi dwumadie soronko a ɔno no nsusue mu no anaasɛ aban no nsusue mu no dwumadie no bɛyɛ infrastructure of national importance anaasɛ infrastructure bɛboa na yɛ ahyɛnsodeɛ bi akyerɛ sɛ yɛfa ngu sika no ɛna yɛtumi de ayɛ ɛna ɛsan so yɛ infrastructure ɛso a ɛyɛ akɛseɛ a ɛbɛtumi ama yɛ economy no nso atu mpɔn but for 815 I think that priority areas were captured and priority areas infrastructure ka ho and priority areas no kra no sign go further say afi bia no say aban decide say annual budget funding amount be pursue 4 priority areas obitumi di akọ he said once the samra no kra na say bia say near 11318 so once the samra no kra na 815 na kra na you can still choose priority areas, especially infrastructure was one of the priority areas. You can still choose now or allocate Sikadimina alcohol, but I think that buying drinks be a priority areas no do so mount to mean your focus, mount to mean you're very specific in terms of your expenditure allocations. And they say no why priority areas near now say scano they call the infrastructure of national importance. Indeed, that is what the 1138 is talking about. Say, Yesika Ibenya, Yete, the Edeko GNPC, no, not the Ebekano, almost 70% na Eco ABF, you know, so 70%, you know, meaning you see the infrastructure, I can see I owe my and that is the focus of the new act amend number 1138 so we are looking forward to see buying spend the 70% and apart from the petroleum funds no more it will cost stabilization and I been so heritage the eco ABF so bit me I implement it in these areas infrastructure no atum ponsin here already
so the bit me aba now that Emrano Eyineni EDSC infrastructure so no, the other sectors that used to receive attention from the annual budget funding amount and KDB echo Hesukun 70 de keke kahono. A bit means to Casibia or other sectors and no young first can be enconcoto and Fenijumano.
No pagina senior buying ever rationalizing a budget. In the Ober realigning some revenue items to some expenditure items. And it's a realignment, a kuya rationalization, kuya. I think that maybe certain revenue items be bit me diversify and as a transfer to other areas like the social sector, education, goods and services. I betoni manema bidia schools ne de kaka agriculture sector any other areas na eka 815 no no bia ne no aban be pesika area call but also even the 1138 no krana why very categorical in terms of say you allocate 85% of the ABF to the DACF, as a District Assembly Common
Fund, yeah.
And the DACF, also, no, we assign actually from the central perspective, no, but there was a Sikani Yedi, it be a water and sanitation, it be a school, mostly goods and services, no, it be a 24-hour marketer, ABC. Because of the DACF factor, it will be able to take care of some of these social services are not the 815 but say yes idea a bit more but if alignments now and rationalization means that other sectors of the economy, especially the agri sector, will likely lose and that is what now earlier because the assumption was that the moment oil output increase, mineral resource increase, early assumption was that it was going to create what we call the Dutch disease. Or economy, no, by shifting to one side. Now, the other side, no, which is an unbalanced economy. Ntina ye kase sika na yenya na was spreading anka eboa. But yet as some say, I've always kicked against any spread this cano, especially Mexicano maye who said being fast way free oil because you spread this cano in such a way that you see in Franco Cranky to Amukoye Kusi school, young Francoye Ega and as in Kusi market and other things are you see free oil revenue. But from various PIAC reports, intimacy, a driving intimacy could be a coca, bushwa, as we are wasting resources. So why not just limit ourselves with the revenue to certain specific areas between Abuama economy na tumpo. And I think that this government thinks that infrastructure in between Abuama economy na tumpo this cano echo. But unfortunately, oil is not doing well, especially revenue safe. So revenue is Jumane and massive year was about it is likely going to affect government's ability to implement these huge infrastructure projects or implementing.
One area I'm a person CCI has got to do with the Public Interest and Accountability Committee because they are also saying say with the new arrangement Abano and Sisanas and Satra Abano HRS and Esika na nkomusumu enya efree ABF mu edidu mujuma hodo se ebia abanka so ke diskano asi ewo insia krum obetimi akwa no makwa akohwe no mde ho adansidie aba ede ho report akwa akoto mrachebja fie ni de ka ho no ene isika ana nkompenya ede free ABF mu no wo mo ensa enka biu ebetimi nya ntwanso bi on omujumade omudie specifically with their oversight responsibility when it comes to expenditure yedidi juma ewo fan wusika enya nmu no
between me and some say your position when we summarize the activities of PIAC we think that they perform about three basic functions. The first function is a more attractive liftings and revenues performance from the petroleum upstream. The second function is a more tracking the utilization, right, of how these funds are realizing and our revenue are realizing in you utilize it and the various funds that you will say allocate revenues no corner a cohort. So some of these things could be desktop review or could be field monitoring and observation. And a third function, basically has to do with monitoring of various projects. ABF, I will say a year. So these are critical key functions of PIAC and Abribiano. They write reports telling us various updates in the upstream and also various updates with respect to ABF infrastructure. For the first and second, and only be our own shedding here, so the BD Juma because they are just correspondence or treasury letters at their core ministries. And I say sometimes ministries website or treasury letters at their core corporations, either GMPC or TALO or any other partners or more upstream Honor Petroleum Commission. So that don't be video with information to present your report. But the major part, with respect to project, and as a project monitoring, in here, Sika Kessie. And it's a nano last year, Munya almost I think 11.6 million Ghana cedis. None, more 4.2. I think that the project monitoring bit, difficulty can cry about PIAC. I don't think they'll be able to go to the field to monitor the various levels at ABF, and share I don't know, and I think government should reconsider some of these proposal say or slash it or more budget now. Because one, apart from the two earlier functions, in terms of revenues and expenditure allocation, and I say allocations of various revenues in various funds, project monitoring has historical projects and current projects. And these historical and current projects continue to compound year on year because you mean you come in your solid projects. They have projects in the static cry and 5 years ago, 6 years ago. But PIAC has to go to the field to see say progress we are doing. You cannot find him. So PIAC is dealing with historical projects that are endorsing, and they must visit each of these projects. And now Obesan are dealing with current projects because said who share the amendment of even 815 to 1138 in Ghana and the infrastructure banner. Infrastructure no. I will say PIAC it be visiting me in a team who say okay if you can now the infrastructure of national inclination as a national character no. Na yen so ni Danquah man as a Dutch man also benefit and I say yen and boni mu so that be a nasa kwai na say. So when they have these huge mandates, or say Bribiano, Musicano, Etimisu, Muma, Omutim, Mujumai. But if you slash it, I don't think that Mujumai, because we had this year, Prana, monitoring, I don't see them even advertise and I say promoting or more pictures on social media with respect to monitoring. I don't know what that is mean on the field. But previous years, quarter biano or more field, projects, and report on the projects. So that in the 4 quarters, they say the possible. But in the America say I want to mean field because they don't have resources. More resources can no more and no more compensation and also employees or more remuneration or a range of year also which Akana cano and some of the sightseeing and other visitations and also no Emma hold do political leaders very responsible and also accountable and also with transparency with respect to either revenue inflows from any of the source and other expenditure allocations and other rationalization. I think that's kind of but you also have to look at it from other perspectives. So, yeah, she can be free oil for Nabano. And as the oil sector, action Nabano. And it's Kabia, a bed also. And this already is kind of also not from 11.6 million last year, 104.2 this year. Because the oil outputs as well as oil revenue, and good this year we projected a little over $1 billion. But as at the first half of this year, they are now only $370 million. It is even assumed that second half, another $370 million. What it means is that the whole period, we are likely going to get about $740 million, which is about 30% less than projected. Be also a Nasikano, buying a penno, buying against the Udna. But the government should reconsider its decision and increase revenue allocations to PIAC so that me perform more 3 main functions to ensure that government is responsible in utilization of our funds and very accountable to Ghanaians with respect to these particular activities.
I am reading a statement by the Natural Resources Government Institute, NRGI. Just like you've mentioned, and there's a portion of a year almost some can say what is happening now is going to take away the safeguard na PIAC so bit me a performing the oversight responsibility to avoid political influence in the disbursement of oil revenues. And they believe that what is happening now will create what they describe as a conflict of interest, where the finance minister, Ura Kesela Forcing, will have that power to decide how much money goes to PIAC. Is that the case? Is that how you see it?
Yeah. I think if you come to the petroleum industry, there are 3 laws when we talk about the revenue management. 815, no, yeah, amended to 873, maybe if my memory serves me right. And 873 is amended to 1138. We share the original 815 now, Minister of Finance to PIAC. Or decided to was what for PIAC as a year. And Hono, you say, which is also right. We say, will be a OPD here, and yeah, would me holding accountable because so holding accountable, yeah, and are very responsible. We seek out the man who never been. Because Papa or no one to me can asem. They act that side section, no, be amended in such a way that their part, no, will be made from the ABFA. There was an allocation in ABFA, whether Minister of Finance not pay on pay in the PIAC, because it's a percentage of the ABFA in the air coho. No, a mandatory on the ministry say we need you can say choice because Brandon a show. If I say we not PIAC. And as you say, I bet some Brano in the 1138. HSA to say no we seek a BLB for budget brain na approve na yen famau. So when it happens that way, I think many energy are being said basana, which means we've gone back to the 815. And I say, come back to the 815. I say, I buy in the bed decide this car eco PIAC. And I say, I buy decide this car eco PIAC. Or not the bed decided the responsibilities. And I said, the human deal also.
If you bet to be this kind of no catch or say, and confused, and conquer Bibia because you can't be man, Abia, all that we want you to do. And he say, she, a fang owner, is set free. A year will may be a too fang owner, no pet, it will be to make a say.
Yes. And I said, Basansua, the accountability part of the responsibility of PIAC.
Happy FM 98.9.
Wow. Now a buy no air shielding home from accountability. And I think that there was some commotion side. But with respect to this government, one disadvantage of this particular government, the huge numbers of more in the parliament. Because of the huge numbers of more in parliament, most of these arrangements, one consider CSOs, one consider even the institution PIAC. They didn't consult them. And kind of more amending some of these. They just push it to parliament under certificates of urgency or emergency, whatever they want to call it, and more pass it because they think they have the numbers. So stakeholders like NRGI, SEMSA, none extractives, none was consulted on these amendments because anchor consultations, at least we could have had a consensus in a better way and best serve the interest of the finance ministry as well as serving the interest of PIAC so that Ghana and the Benya will be Papa Afrim. But no, 138 is only serving the interest of the finance ministry and not the interest of PIAC, neither the interest of Ghanaians. Because at the end of the day, Ghana for and they establish it, PIAC say, all they say are buying any Sikane Basabasa. And PIAC to me is one of the best institutions at Ghana, even though they don't prosecute. But year on year, they tell us what is happening with our petroleum revenue. They tell us what is happening with their expenditure and the various projects are allocations in the area. Unlike the mineral sector, the mineral royalties, who is even accounting to Ghanaians? You see, can the idea? MDF, who is accounting to Ghanaians? Who even MDF website, Ocom website, they are not even reports of progress of any activities or more embarking within the mining communities. But PIAC is able to tell us, it's a real-time cry historically. And one of the best committees or my establishing no. Okay, the Sakra communal royalties are can a 2 point for you. But so banner over expenditure to that side. It means shield born by what's the offense are buying what's the war. And the accounts should be able to hold accountable, and that is irresponsibility on the part of government.
Is this creating an avenue for a misappropriation?
It can only create based on the intentions of government. And I think that Yasha here, a buying and starting implementation of any ABFA project. A buying and even though the budget has made allocations or projected allocations to stabilization fund and heritage fund. Yensheda Sika Kuku and I see a Hukrana. Yensheda who say the Sikano maybe in subsequent years, anybody who say the buying amendment 815 to 113 is because of so misappropriating. And maybe next year some of these findings will come out.
Quickly before we wrap up, is the concern of also the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, and they've also been excluded from the ABFE because previously we know the GIF has embarked on projects for example, we can talk about the Kotoka International Airport Terminal 3, Ediskapudu and Ediabromei. Should there be a concern for their exclusion? And also you mentioned of legacy projects. 111 agenda 111 is also a legacy project. With the new changes, do you foresee say you bet me every year and maybe some of the legacy projects now give it me a day a year or may fango emphasis on a dion?
David, I don't think that government wants to complete those legacy projects, but I don't also know for sure whether ABFA was also funding Agenda 111. I don't name the source of funding because ABFA funded projects, mostly they are implemented by the district assemblies and maybe the national budget and implementing these projects. I don't think that Agenda 111 can hold. But most of the legacy projects under FBFA and under petroleum funds in Biano are likely to be stored and that is the Ghana we just want to waste resources abribia the politics. And I think this also comes into mind with respect to GIF and as a Ghana Infrastructure and Investment Fund. Dr. Nimoy Thompson, one of the few development economists, see, the problem as a country is that we don't have strategic vision in anything we do. People just want to expend. But how that investment, will help Ghana strategically. So, a buying of the express way and whatever they call it from Accra to Kumasi or say 6 line. Then you ask yourself, Professor 6 line. Already we have a dual way. Why don't you complete it and use the revenue and funds in Akano to build a railway line from Accra to Tamale? Why another express lane? Why do we need that? And not a railway line? You get it. Why do we even have to build certain infrastructure? Then people just want, let's just build. But the building now, the infrastructure person building must have a strategic vision tied to your economy and will sustain your economy in certain levels. Until you mind this one, you see me keke. You see, I mean, Faswa, the Korean day brain. Then I use it. But you come had it, you see, I am basic car, you been your free. And that is why we've not been able to broaden our infrastructure to cover, especially transport infrastructure, to cover other parts of transport or other related transport than just road. So many GIS I sympathize with them. But that's the reality. We're just doing anything for anything's sake. And until you ever back to putting infrastructure based on your strategic vision, Dr. Nimoy Thompson, meaning some of these things will waste in the bush. Agenda 11, I can surely tell you that some of the projects are from Agenda 111, they will waste for the next 20 years. I can surely.
That means that we just have decided to waste over $123 million US. And just to mention, just to bring the conversation into the perspective of GIF funding, and I said GIF helping to fund Agenda 111. As of 2022, Sika na yedi koko share Agenda 111 through GIF was 933,984,568.91. So that's Sika na free annual budget funding amount no more. If free ye fan Sika no yedi koko share Agenda 111. We need to know me that question.
Oh, but that's with this particular information, I think I've not read that part of say GIF was also funding Agenda 111. But they make my catch you and say Agenda 111 projects will be wasted projects. They wasted Yesikakwa. The previous NDC, started e-blocks.
Yes.
Some of them in the next 10 years will not be completed. Most of projects that MPP starting here, some of them in the next 20 years will not be completed.
But can't we prosecute the government for causing financial loss to the state?
Who is going to prosecute? Who? Ana SMC, Ana NRGI, Ana PIAC. These are coordinated efforts to waste our resources. What they call to crack to just abiding Lusua or why they watching wine. Who watching president? You see, because you don't have strategic vision, and I said those days on Happy FM, I stated categorically, and I think Sefah, you can go back to the archives. Say Agenda 111 was very ambiguous. Same way NDC so started big push. Very ambiguous projects. And ambiguity wastes resources because they are not scientific most of the time. Today, you waste resources. You are wasting, you are wasting because NDC may not continue and will not continue most of them. And a big push. You may waste resources because say NDC free so NPP bar will not continue most of them. So why don't we build a concise infrastructure vision? Say 4 years, maximum infrastructure be taken on my INC Wisikano, 4, 5. And I feel the 4, 5. You 4, 5 from you. I saying to us. Politicians and when you see. Or more green saying you be 100 souls. 10%. The GVR. Yentime we cry, me majemedi. Let's waste it. And the idea media ni na wose modi manu form say big push is going to waste our resources same way Agenda 11 has wasted our resources.
All right, Benjamin, it's always exciting to have conversations with you in the morning. All right, Benjamin, a director for Samson. And I'll tell you live on Happy 98.9 FM. So, Ceciano, the Akobane said, now the finance minister, and the Betchesika and Fankoma, a piak, so Mufanu Mujuma, Ahodo. So, finance minister, waiting me to budget, not finance minister, Kasuki, budget now the buy and your share. Into me in your Sikanina and Fama, into any more Sikanamu, 30%, and another 20%. So, it will mean, say, Jumedia was a piak, it monitoring a year lifts from baby to fango ewo memu me kire fango fuel fango ewo memu ewo se piak na nkom do mani timi ehwe edi akiri no eno no ahwo ntimi nye ensemo a finance ministry beka se ene no wayo yedi sika ai free fango no mu ayo ewo memu na nka no so se piak no bitimi akwakodi akiri na omo ahwe champagne ampa yayo anase enyoye no anhwe na anhwe with the new arrangement no anhwe na anhwe na chese no so piak into me enyo and this is not me saying these are things we are near ma one more industry no more one more eka omo hwe mu a omo ye and omo de ababe tudwa now GIF no yemfa ne se edwumako ye tiasi o se yemfa sika enkonkɔhye akwan ahodo mmea ahodo asukuu dan yesi asupitis ne yesi infrastructure betimi abo man mpuntuo ne nkoso eno ne dwumadi a yate so so mudie enka ne no munya sika ne bi edi free fango na yekokoton no ho mfa so a yenya no munya sika ne bi edi free mu no mo de aboa am yedi edi edwuma ahodo eno ena yedi bi ekokoye terminal 3 a wo Kutuka International Airport eno ena enwubadi ahodo bi agenda 111 so close to about 1 billion Ghana cedis was contributed towards the construction of 111 hospitals ewo memo say in baby a asopiti ni bi akodro no baby ejina na jina ene sika nanka GIF bitimi enya e free fango emfa so enya mu no say no ye o free mu nti hefa no bitimi enya sika e de akwa infrastructure project ewo man. Government says that now everything is targeted at infrastructure. Man. But you been never near the home common year. You be a piak. You have your piak near the piak in common. But young Quahoma so I drop for young Quahoma a new rabbis, Marco say, or your economists and nutrition come and from far away. Or rabbis, Marco say, do you see, sir, there seems to be an over concentration? And I say our attention are shifted from other sectors. They call infrastructure and a bit me and so be a economy. So I'm watching and walk away another pay. The question was whether you feel say what seems to be an over concentration on infrastructure, particularly with the Kwame Befa source Binya. Free a fan no you didn't infrastructure mono. Do you have a feeling say this will in any way impact our economy? If it is impacting our economy, will it be negative or positive?
Okay, I think the new amendment, the Petroleum Revenue Act amendment, some of these echelon institutions, PIAC, GMPC, made those institutions now they don't give them annual budgetary funding amount. I think I have an intent to say most of the fundraisers and close of the market, they push it to the big push agenda, infrastructure agenda of the government. Yes, but there's a big on the economy in terms of infrastructure. Up to say a very positive thing. I think to me, such institutions now, way off, like those GMPC, those are GMPC. They are wing
Exploco, yeah.
They are in charge of explorations, those when it comes to ensure the amount of oil. Oil, they do the phase discoveries and those things, that ingenuity and intelligence. And if they are not well funded now, they will 30%, they have cut down 50%. That means the ability now, they're talking about water basin projects. Let's say in the northern Savannah and North about we want to discover more of these oil leases. I think it will have very well respect on them. To me, that idea of trying to have infrastructure should not come, will not obligate the functions of these institutions. I think that we should find a way of them to getting enough enormous amount of money, some of what they have that into the operation. In as much as they want to be infrastructure. I think there shouldn't be an expense. Say, you may want to do my deal. For instance, and this report, only 1 out of 4. 3, 4. I'm reports in there, they are by as July 2025 reporting. Out. I think it's about making a development for the sector. I think the employer. Having said that, without any equivocation, you only have to say any infrastructure, but I think we have to be more innovative. I think to even the development of the bank. I'm the Ministry of about the Ministry of
Finance,
Foreign Affairs.
Yeah.
It's to keep the nuance inside the favorable perspective. I'm free from the political business title. So I'm executive results. That's the idea. I'm free from the political business title. I'm subservient to the political business title.
Now the new development on media about the trade development. I want to share government influence. And defeating the purpose of setting the whole agenda is to abnegate the function. I think that we have to go back and give them what they deserve. And we have to be more innovative towards financing infrastructure. I think that's what we're supposed to do. Well, we can't do this at the expense of having very specific and execrable effects on their development. There are other innovative ways that they may augmenting cabinet financing infrastructure. Even having said that, taking this to go off now, the money is still not enough to help anticipate self-generated results with capital infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm more added to. No, if this year I'm about 13 billion, it's not enough. I want the World Bank report. We need $2 billion annually to finance infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
If you're taking them off, no, will not be a silver bullet. Because raising enough revenue to finance that.
You are talking about innovative approaches to financing infrastructure. Ewo maimu. Say kwan for a bit me afa so onye sika. E dia ya kwan e dia si esuku dan ahodo e dia si adan ahodo bit me aboa aban nyuma wodie ewo maimu, and that we should not be focusing on sika every fang onumu e dia banko a, because sika ne bit me so e dia kwa akose other sectors a bit me aboa o mani mpuntu. If you are to suggest say okay emyemfi ye ni si fango sika no anase mfaso enye free fango no so no a ehfa na wo se ye di ani hwe to ensure say betimi enye sika e de dis adwuma hodwe.
Okay, thank you so much. I know like meba ho no the share other very close up areas a betimi enye sika abua infrastructure within a panoramic one. Now the issue of Islamic banking, let me tell you, the video can take the table. Islamic banking is not only for bringing money for investment. They also have a segment that is into infrastructure. Islamic banking have a sector that with infrastructure. When the government identify a very powerful project, they will higher returns. Islamic banking to help you to raise bonds financing. When you raise the bond, the point is that you don't. When the profit from you don't pay interest. You don't pay the interest. But when the profit from that you put it away and it delete, you take the profit and give it to the bondholder. And after some years, the government buys the infrastructure and they give the principal to those who invest in the bond. So they have Islamic bonds for infrastructure. With that extensive way to militants, we call it something. We can also leverage on that. So we have the Islamic banking, Islamic bonds. Let's put it that way, Islamic bonds. I know when you take it, you don't pay interest rate. And I'll tell you how it's being operational. We can also look at it. I think one of Ghana, Professor John Zaki, is trying to see how, without a nuance, maybe the Arab, the Arab, but now he is more focused on the Islamic banking aspect. I think it's still at the primary stage. You have to see how far it goes. Two, what they call the Security Industrial Act. A constitution where they activate without capability results. Again, a Security Industrial Act. What can I say? Government institutions, they end up the briefing. For instance, Ghana, if you activate that act now, remember those institutions, no, like Meko German, so after Bobosian, I have more infrastructure without relying on the central government. If they're efficient, the main cytosans and rudimental around they should be efficient. For instance, there is somebody like Kumasi, take a beer. And I can very efficient without prejudicial results. So when I came, I could international capital market. I could borrow money. I may see commercial central market. No more time on the Canada for back up to the but it's very high profitable. About more than 200,000 stores. People have the money already to pay. It should have been a central government, and they could borrow money to both sides infrastructure.
But Mr. Osei, the way that we have built, and I said the way that we have constructed our governance system, and I said local governance system, and some of these municipalities and I said districts, so from what you're saying, I was saying to me, and for some of these entities to have strong financial footings that will bet me how do we do that?
One is about efficiency. KMA, they have a lot of money. It's about how in the money where the money goes. You don't tell me that we live in Kumasi, we know it's a KME have a lot of money. People who work in KME Central Market and they're doing it Alaba. It's more than 200,000 people. And they have a lot of money. How is the money channeled? Some of these things are so much infractions and could buy infractions, contributions, and mafiosos. For most of these institutions who are generating the government, most of the change. One of the reasons is it's sort of inefficient and how more like airport. Let me take terminal 3, terminal 2. Airport should be able to gather airport to be able to go to the international market, borrow money, go to the terminal or go to the airport and pay back because more than I think averagely you should Ghana airport is more than 2 to 4 million people use Ghana airport every year. Between Ghanaians and foreigners, about 4 million people every year. They have generated enough money to pay airport. But the issue of impropriety and inefficiency, generating they generate a lot of money. So they're one of the areas that making us the problem. The fact that the inefficiencies here was tax into corporate state-owned enterprise, many local governments, like KMA, no more huge population, every hour they are doing those inefficiencies. Once those things are obliterated, they can push to the international market and pass the Security Industrial Act. How they can be on their own to raise money, with that ingenuity to business owners to raise money. These some of these things are hanging up from the central government. Right? These are very good. Look at I think last week, I think last one, it's excellent. I say Obama University hospital of Musimo of Kerry. It should not be the government helping University to put their own hospital. Look at where KSP hospital is. In the midst of in the top of Kumasi. You should be able to go to the capital market, raise money, go to the hospital, and pay it back without the government financing it. It's people's truth. That strategy, MYA, because these are open you back in the hospital. That's two people. I want to be we complain about Kovanotia, and it becomes the biggest hospital in Kumasi. As of now, I would not expect the government to fund the financial of that hospital. No, he said they are very high capital venture. It's just a level of efficiency. And that the explosiveness of brilliance. Let's talk to more about that. Is Security Industrial Act has to be the German also use at a best time and back. We almost get back. So that it doesn't all put bed in the central government. Institutions, corporate institutions, the local MNG is now KMA metropolitan, state-owned enterprise, government institutions, schools, universities, and some of those things should be operational. I know one another way I beat a government, not personal government. A bit like that is number 2. No, so digital road tools, people are using it in other countries. Ethiopia, you can paint the power roads within Addis Ababa. There are tools, digital tools, what this kind of private sector, what constructing roads, now tools also, what it is. So there are some number of years at the end of the day, it becomes now I'll give you back to the speaker.
But the issue of about the public-private partnership when it comes to the construction of our roads, say we've spoken about it consistently over a period of time. I mean this will be my final question. How is it a DNT and a BCNA we have not been able yin share down who quite a bit me a faswa, you bet me at the sans and kana ye canin di juma. What seems to be 2 or 3 challenges at the end of Yentumino?
I think the dictator road tool, the truth is that they have engaged the people to design the road tools. I don't know about 1,135 road tools of them are having to develop it. And if for now, they expect to have the central government. I must say, you have given it to company that all design those digital road tools. For now, we can leave it without that they are working out without continuous effort into the For now, we don't know the timeline to say the road to come back. But what we know is that we can say it without accelerating the government have assured that they're giving to the private sector or developing those roads to 6 hours. And that's what we can say for those perspectives. I think that for now, unless we see they give us the roadmap, how far, then maybe what is the substantial around the family? Okay, what are the deadlines? I said about this or not. This road to the GB first, it will be on board. That will be integrated to prestigious resource. I don't know one of the areas. I know we need to pay our make out because we don't know how far that region have gone. Let the minister another this is how far I'm not. The same year, the same like I think for that, we even to that level, I mean, to them and how to see how far the digital road to is going. I think we are living it back and forth. We have to. I'm not going to media go there on media something how far and anything looks like in that very
All right, and I think so we need to have a broader conversation around this. Mamena was now pay say what your opinion on nutrition come live on Happy 90.9. Sure. Thank you very much. I can't see my back by na non kron abo Ghana from Patchon bit me afraid 0551563916 0555 in Patcho Mumbo me na menye kududum kunu enko 0551563916 0555 Good morning. We didn't be afraid for you. Yes, sir. We Sakura, the mouthpiece of Ablikuma Central Patchon into you. As I'm doing council, your monitor and Ebreno Ecopa.
They will say, this has been our last one. What 7 of the account. Oh, sir, the start project now by me and they can hold you for next 10 years. Getting a say about the staff. The Omwa, yet the contract in Numa Omwa. Parliament, air award this Kanua, yet this Kanuma. Omo digana ha. Mitiasie, that's the way you mitiasie that. Because you ma contract, a parliament ma approval, can it be a you can one because project in na edida ho. If you be some way the yanti to me, you can one contractor no an ministry. Yes, they say banter, they be a buying bow project no ya ba no. Oba no on to us added.
Big question. Sakura Mameno was Yanko, good morning. Didn't be afraid of you. Be afraid of you. Bright in Patch, bright me into you. Meton can bright.
Yamin Shirap in Andy. Yamin down our mouth.
Me pacho baby out na ntu nkan yi gina yi na online twetwesi
me pacho
yenko
onim me be contract via ye be ma ewo o man Ghana mu no say eko through parliament e ma omo sign me pacho ye diskeni na ma contractor na say ye tua ni budget.
It depends on the project. Ebi wo ha contractor na di sika bokwa ko ye adwuma no na wa raise any coupon no de akọ genesika.
And to say say contractor no contract na ye demand no obetumi aye adwuma na na say on tumi nye adwuma no because you be wie na esi obi esi school dan na ye tia nika na contractor na lock school no say amani ska omo use school no so uti that is be dream.
Of course.
Enti ebi na mani banisa.
Ana make catch say pacho ti. Ana make catch say contract ni bi wo ho a ye catch say wo contractor no. Pe wo sika na fa kwako di dwuma no, udi dwuma ni via you raise your coupon. Na odi akwa sika no de afira ban ho. So what you say?
Enti pe wo sika na ko ye contract ni. Na fe wo na ye say wo twen say aban be tua oka. Na wo be ko say uko loki school dan and I say juma na okoko ye no on pesa ye be use sa office na contractor na patch le den me sure also say o hwe nikwe mami ya accountant we o muko tina committee so a obisa DVL boss yi semi me ntimi hu sa won ye bi na o chance a nikwe no and I say den because question obisa any question the bufu ni chere DVL boss yi baby ano ya yesre no baby o ti no ye djuma di amagana for onu tina ho e mo ni finance minister omo bo obusia ebeti ene ye hu baby asika na omo di ye eno Ghana ni bia bisa no wasem
Bright Mameno wase yanko good morning udin ene baby afrefio
Kwadwo Sefah-Danquah
we na namu akon pacho na yintio
oja anapanya miasumji
asumjen council
maminchi at international chairman area na boba so na see you be amichao eva ye na contract e wo Ghana na eco parliament na te fam contract na anko ya when na election aso or ta contract no the fire te kom ha ama adwuma bebree a yɛyɛ organize bia no adwuma na enkoyi sɛ yɛ kwan a yɛyɛ kwan a within some months a year na ɛkwan asai the fa oyɛ centroni how many years na mo yɛ Kanda highway from Asram down side or Echo Kanda Kakuri Junction ho no kwan no mo yɛ how many years when say ɛkwan no asai ana sɛ ɛnsɛn na sɛ ɛkwan we ho dada na sɛ ɛkwan yɛ nyinaa ɛkwan ɛnkyɛ ɛkwan asai ana yɛ mpɛ ko yɛ nhwɛ ha no mu sɛ ade ɛkwan yɛ ɛkwan ɛkwan ɛnkyɛ ɛkwan asai nti bia yɛ kwan gada yɛ fi yɛ kwan na sɛ bia ɛkwan yɛ ayewu na sɛ ɛkwan ɛnkyɛ ɛkwan asai yɛ bɛ sɛ yɛ mpɛ ko sɛ adumre a ɛwɔ sɛ yɛ de kɔntata sɛ yɛ gyina mbra no yɛ ka sɛ adwa yɛ no ayɛ yɛ de ɛsɛ ko yɛ yɛ sɛ odi yɛ sika ma yɛ yɛ de sika simpa no because ɔyɛ dwuma sɛ ayɛ yɛ a ɛsɛ twa sɛnea obi sika no sɛ dana ankɔ yie a ɛda no gugu a yɛsi yɛ kɔkye nipa kuna akɔtɔ afi ase yɛde ndeɛma no ade no so bi yɛ kwan sɛ kwan kɔ yɛ ase fa yɛ fɛn fɛn nyinaa mbra no because ati ɛkwan na hayɛ kwan yɛ nyinaa ɛkwan no nkyɛn ɛkwan afɛ ɛyɛ sɛ kɛnɛ etu bɛka yɛ nyɛ ɔma no ɔmo nyɛ ɔma no na mi nka kyerɛ nua aban sɛ ɛsɛ blight sɛ that DVL boss no sɛ woyɛ DVL boss na sɛ wosi wunim sɛ obi tumi ne ne din ɛregister car na ɛgbɛrɛ yɛ na mi hu so fa so sɛ ɔkyerɛ as a boss because Ghana ha yɛ hu nipa yɛ bɛ car dɔm a nipa ne din na register na sɛ wosi esi ɔgana ha deɛ a na wotu foto Ghana fa sɛ ɛgbɛ na wunim de ba mi ne ɔgana sɛ ɔkɔhyɛ no ɔnkɔhyɛ wɔn mo ni amra ɔmo nka ne kora fa nkyɛn Ghana ha yɛ deɛ nyinya ne sɛ bɛbɛ ne na ɔba ha ne na kyɛ sɛ ɔka ne kora kyɛn ɛn sɛ no ɔme ha yɛ n'ani obi sɛ akɔhyɛ no na ɔnkyɛ ne onim na adwuma ɛsɛ kyɛn na adwuma na me nka ho
maame ɛna waseɛ final call ha good morning ni baabi afrɛ fio
meda se bra Kwadwo Sefah-Danquah
we ɛyɛ maala medi
meda se me tia na me tia ɔba papa siali na ka na me pɛsɛ me ka on policy bi na yɛkɔ social issue no ade a onyade twa to sisi ana na so me ka kakra fa ho sefa to be frank yɛnim bi ɛkasa due to maybe are you free any the way I want to say yɛdi nti ma ɛwɔ adwuma we mu no wohwɛ nokorɛ ate bisa question bi sɛ I don't know ebi a there is a backdoor conversation bi a woman yɛ aware ɛwɔ nyama na obisa ne nyinaa na sefa at the end of the day public account committee anambwa
public account committee
what is the name What is the name? What's the meaning of the name?
Public account committee. So, Baby, who are
the publicities?
Who are the publics now? Okay.
Yes. Who are the name? As if I
what's the name? What's only me? Yenim dia.
Yenim question now, man. Bisaya no.
What's yenim question now? Woman bisaya no.
Yena ya dina no sibonya. Ya pese ya chine na we no. Although me support you man say dia, but question no bisaya no. Me ena make say you see me ka say you be to record na e dia say. But yam fa no kura nto no kura ya ba ko pe. Say obi an say return my plate. Ewa ma po ni this one Lumba 1 Kojonchi 1 we 1 ya na my plate. Ara uni Sefa 1 uni Sefa 1.
I mean, this is for one.
Uni ko Sefa 1 but obi an say nti where your question na so bi say bia either yes or no. That's the question no bi say. We dey find the constitution na ko pan sense me that. Sefa about your bantu we administer ekasa no. Yeah. Me kafa ji asama na friend say akwawe Emmanuel Awuli na person we man man siboni. One arabe dia party here oyoba o kire mo senior esitie. Me dey ba ko school na mo professor akwala ni ti me say adenti na o sa akwala ni ti. No say guess no. Omotina wa omodo mo ti wi edi agro. On the party ka asem no. Nti sebi wo o feda wo journalism. Nyame bi wo ho a me nka because me nim bia me nim de me ka. Saa na okọ bi so ade nipa ne eya no unnim de nipa ne eya ho nti se nipa e ma bibia o se ya to yabo ne nya nkyerɛkyerɛmu mayan start and jump to conclusion okay we akọ topic a Ghana for ya discussing ade e was system for 4 many years atan me no about ya bu focus do ade ye nya ye nim ade nya ya form up to date let and that minister in the car na no about the topic
malamidi evansia upon ya sorry so mame enka say ene no entina ho ema daache no wakwa ahomegyi mu na fiansa na akwa yala selala sinit se bomodi anabra na o employer hwe na o employer na intua snit emfama so o employer no intua kono ko snit bi ne hujuma e de ma Said they be a dachi bi, Oka Humijima between Yesika. Na with me at the bra. Since said we've got you. We've got you. We deliver on our promise. 0302-611-622. A number bit me a fresh snit ever so. Oka Bell Fontinta, Cassian is a Quanquanuasia. Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You at Snit Ghana. Soccer bet, soccer chance. Bura where selected 10 or more matches. Odds now say 1.3 and above. Ebia matches no selected 10. Emu a year 9 about 1 or more. Uzika or the shame no. You born home yes 3 times your stake. Into Mpewe na open terms and conditions apply. A live soup. You were Mwahudo and 9. A live lemon, a live coconut, a live aloe vera, and a live rose. And the pa, a deep jarry, ma, ohona met me a tosso, now why you're from. Maybe I've a bit many a live soup at all. And there were more than a ra. Shops a hoodoo munato, a live soup nibiwate. A live soap, feel fresh, feel alive. Sabashable center, 7 Moderna fire dear. 1 cronin in nada, fabra. Sabash. Oh, cocoa drew tatashe back or memoir. Your friend of Sabashko bitters. And they bit me you cocoa in idea frumo. I Nazas a cocoa person samba to be caught on Hills Okashi, Little George Tamakomedy 5, a cruise pharmacy at Simon Main Station. Wow. Omodia, now if you Sabashable Center Chirakwanye, ye Juma a Drada Copenhagen say that so La Paz, Yane, a brantier sport. Any team share anymore. Friend, so 0508 846 and I say 0249 217 453 0249 217 453. Jowa Sanku ono ene to adwene ote nyina na otunku nanso onnae ema ye de dwumadie no ebrewo ye no a ye di dwumadie no ho chiame eye me nyankompasachie de hye aduana abrade de hye Chenchen na Kwadwo Sefah-Danquah. Ewura papa fati shaibu ali pepiase this year. Ena achenkwana na wonu mbremu. Ura kufi ayim. Eni di dwumadi no ho chiame ene anopai. Nyame pa wo chena akasimadu ama nunsia abo anopano a. Yebesan ba betena se bio na ya dwendwene oman Ghana ho. Na nkoma ehia ese efata no. Ye de bio. Yakramo nyame pa wo chena anopa yebesan hia bio.